closer than you think. It's not a tournament. It's what you don't see on TV. The cash is real. The stakes are high. They bet big. They win big. They lose big. High stakes live action poker. Live at the bike. Watch it live on the web or play it if you dare at the Bicycle Casino right here in Los Angeles.
Hello and welcome to Live at the Bike. I'm David Tuckman, and you are in for quite a night. We're playing 10-20, no limit hold'em. We've got some of the usual fare. Dave, we've got Mo, we've got Barry Woods, and we've got none other than our own Bart Hansen in seat number 9. And I can't wait to get to the action, so let's get to it. In seat number 1, we've got Mo. Action Mo there. And see how he plays all night. Now, the brown chips there, those are $10 chips. The white chips are $100 chips. Seat number 3, we've got Kenny Wynn. Kenny Wynn's a real tight player, local pro. Seat number 4, we've got Kirk. Kirk also a very tight player. Rarely puts his money in without something good. And not the kind of guy you're going to really win a big pot off of unless he's got a big second-best hand. Seat number 6, we've got Dr. Allen. Not to be confused with That's Allen. Now, Dr. Allen is the kind of player, he mixes it up. He's got the appearance. He's kind of one of those guys you really can't judge a book by its cover. You look at him, and you think that he's kind of a tight-ish player, but he really plays his draws very aggressively. Seat number 8, we've got Barry Woods. Barry, don't call me Greenstein Woods. And seat number 9, of course, we've got the spastic shuffling of our own Bart Hansen. And Bart is in the hand. You can see the board now. The board is ace, ace, queen, queen. And Barry is going to bluff at it with 5 high. Now, Bart only had 9 high, so. And he shows the 5 high. Now, Bart only had 9 high, so. I guess you could call that a bluff, sort of. Should be a lot of fun tonight. We got 10-20 blinds. This is a $1,000 minimum buy-in game. Most of the players in this game have a lot more money, though. I know Bart has bought in for about $2,500. Mo's got over that. I actually want to say between those 6 players, we probably have somewhere in the neighborhood of $22,000, $23,000. Now, there are a lot of other players on their way. According to Mo, Corporation Mike is reserved seat number 2. Hav, Midnight, is reserved seat number 5. And George Giorgio, the Greek poker god, is reserved seat number 7. So it should be a full game before we know it. Get to our first hand here. We have Jack, 5-3. And it's between the blinds again. It's Bart and Mo. Now, Bart does not chop. He always says that. Now, it went check, check.
Don't talk to me.
I'm sorry.
River is a 5, and Bart is going to win this with king high. And Bart takes that one down.
Anyway, I was in the line before then.
Then I gotta put yours.
And apparently Carlos is going to take seat number 7. Carlos had said that he had reserved seat number 5, but then he said he was going home. So, but apparently we're in luck because Carlos is going to jump in the game.
No, I have to put George first up. He's on the way.
Apparently his girlfriend has let him out to play. If you want to email us, we like to keep the show as interactive as possible. You can email us at live@thebike.com. Once again, that's live@thebike.com. You can also follow a live thread. Go to 2plus2.com. Go to forums. Go to World Poker Tour and other events. And go to Live at the Bike for May 19th, the official thread. I'll be following that all night. We also will be having some guest commentators in here. Depending on who shows up at the game, will kind of depend on who we get in here. So we'll see. Hopefully we'll get Corporation Mike in here later on.
No, he's in.
Come on, man. I'm too behind.
Button is in seat number 9. That is Bart. He's got Jack 10 of spades. Now, I'm going to try to keep track of what Bart has. And Bart's going to make it $90 here with Jack 10 of spades. Kenny Wynn and Mo in the blinds, and Kenny's not going to play, and it's heads up between Carlos and Bart. Is Carlos going to call this? He's got Jack 7. He had posted dead. And he's going to call this. Actually, wow, he's going to raise it up. He makes it 200 to go. And I got to tell you, if you're Bart, you can call this. You're deep enough. I'm not sure how much money Carlos is buying in for, but it's only 110 more. You're in position with a hand that plays pretty well. And Carlos is in really bad shape, obviously. And Bart is going to call, it looks like. Pot is now $430 to the flop. Carlos versus Bart. Ace, King, 5, and it misses both players. Carlos actually has the jack of clubs in his hand, and if he continues with this bet, you imagine he'll take it down.
Why don't you give him a stack?
Once again, we're live at the bike. We're playing 1020 No Limit Hold'em. I'm David Tuckman. I'm your host tonight. Bart is in the game. I got to tell you, I've been looking forward to. I always look forward to Friday nights, but I really been looking forward to this game for a while. And Carlos is going to make a continuation bet. He's going to put 400 in the pot, and Bart really can't do anything here. I mean, not a time to make a stand here. Not with Jack 10 of spades. He's going to throw it away.
I let you see it.
And Carlos loves to show everybody else the bluff.
Almost the same.
You have it, you have it.
He loves to show Mo his bluffs. Pretty much you're assured that if he throws the hand across the board, you know Carlos has been bluffing. Now, Carlos, I know Bart was trying to defend him. I got to tell you, I mean, Carlos is one of those guys. I mean, I really look for a guy like that in the game. He did have a huge score a couple nights ago. On Wednesday night, I think he won $29,000. Not a bad score for about a 4-hour day. Button has moved over to seat number 1. Now, Kirk's got ace-queen in the blinds. Now, Dr. Allen is not going to play. Goes over to Carlos. He's going to play king 3. Bart and Barry get out. Mo is going to limp in on the button with an ace-4 suited. And Kirk is going to raise this up in the blind. Puts his chips in there like a surgeon, I tell you. And he makes it, I want to say it looks like $180 to go. Carlos gets out. You imagine, not sure if anybody's going to call this or not. I mean, Mo's in position, but I don't think he's going to call. No, he doesn't, and Kenny gets out. And Kirk's going to win himself about $60 in dead money. And apparently, the Greek poker god and Midnight over there, there's Joy, that's actually Hav. They actually flipped a coin to see who was going to get the open seat. This Corporation Mike has already reserved the seat. And Hav is going to take seat number 5, and maybe we'll get George in here in a little while. Once we get the game warmed up, we'll get in here for a minute for a little guest commentary. Button's in seat number 3. That's Kenny Wynn. Couple of limpers. Bart is limped in with an ace-8 suited in late position, kind of mid-ish to late position. Kirk's going to make the call, and Hav is just going to tap the table, and we're going to see a flop 4 ways, $80 pot. Flop is king, king, queen, and Kirk's got trip kings, and he's going to check it.
Oh, 100, okay, next one.
Let's see, like a check.
And look at that hand. Everybody's got 7-8, ace-7, ace-8. And obviously they're almost all drawing dead here.
I didn't do anything.
4 hearts on the turn. And actually, Carlos has the highest heart. And now Kirk bets it. Can't take much heat there with trip kings, I got to tell you. And is Carlos going to call this? He's got the 7 of hearts. If he catches a heart, he'll win.
Thank you, sir.
And nobody's going to call this. Kirk shows the king, and he takes down the pot. Button is going to, and look at that, we say hello to Corporation Mike. And I got to tell you, you look at the game, how it started out. Basically, it was, Kirk and Mo and Bart and Kenny Wynn, and you're going, okay, we might be in for a little bit of a slower night. Obviously, Bart in the game will make it really interesting. But now you add Corporation Mike and you add Carlos, and suddenly this game is really picked up. It's funny, the way the table is laid out beforehand, Bart was actually really excited because he picked seat number 9 because Mike was supposed to be in seat number 7, and he wanted a position on Mike, and now he's been put in a spot where he's actually going to be, Mike's got position on him pretty much most of the night.
Mike, you got me in the game or something.
And Carlos has mini raised this. He's actually made it, I want to say $80 to go. Actually, he made it 240. Those are two white chips in there. Couldn't see it. Made it 240, hardly a mini raise. And Kirk is moving all in with ace king. Look at this. And Carlos had ace jack.
How much is that?
Plus 200.
Plus 200 here.
Wow. I gotta tell you, you wonder about this play by Kirk.
21.
Yes, 200.
Oh, 20 more.
I mean, it was a $200 raise, and Carlos. It was a $240 raise by Carlos, and Kirk has moved all in for another $2,100. I mean, you wonder now. I got to tell you, if I'm at a position with Ace King, let's say I was the small blind there. Okay, maybe you make that play because you don't want to see it flop and get bluffed off the pot.
Which one do you want?
But I'm in position,
Which one do you want?
and Carlos is going to show the Ace Jack and throw it away. Nice lay down by Carlos. I got to tell you.
You want a discounting frame, you know?
You wonder if an ace had come out there, though. If Carlos could have gotten away from it, maybe Kirk would have won a huge pot.
Yeah, it looks like
Nice aggressive play, though, and he takes it down. Huge overbet there, and it works for him, though. Seat number 5, Hobbs got the button. Small blind is Dr. Allen. Big blind is Carlos. Barry Woods is under the gun. And it's going to fold around. Corporation Mike is not going to play.
you or B.
Kenny Wynn not going to play. Kirk not going to play. It's going to fold around to the blinds.
No, wrong. You can see it on.
And I'm not sure if they play or they chop.
No, I did not have ace. Ask Dave.
Oh, you say chop?
Ask Dave. I didn't
Okay.
play.
And they're going to chop it up.
Go ask Dave.
The worst you had was king.
I'm not playing.
No, I didn't have kings either.
What do you have? Honestly,
Honestly, at ace king.
you know what? That smile that you have right there.
And he's, Kirk is actually telling him what he had, and they're not believing him.
Go ahead, tell him.
The thing, I can see your eyes, but it's not in your eyes. This is your, whatever, your picture.
Why don't you believe me, Barry?
Because I know you could.
Bud moves over to seat number 6.
Don't worry, we'll watch the show
Because
later.
I laid down ace king, that's why.
And Corporation Mike is going to raise this up. He's going to make it 150 to go with ace 5 of diamonds.
Try and push me a pot, Wayne. Don't worry about this.
And
What are you playing, 150? Yeah, 150. Are you all in?
and Hobbs going to call him with 8s. Dr. Allen's going to get out, and we're going to see this heads up. Hobbs versus Mike. Got to tell you, out of all the players in this game, Hobbs' game is probably one of my favorites. Now, there's the ace, though. Mike's got him out flopped. And he bets 200, and Hobbs quickly throws away the 8s. Now, you wonder there's only one overcard, and normally, obviously, the ace is this premium scare card. But when Mike is betting it, you wonder sometimes, you know, Mike really could be raising it with any 2 cards. Button moves over to seat number 7. That's Carlos. Bard is in the big blind. He's got Jack 5 of spades in the big blind. And Mo is under the gun.
Barry got you for 2,000? Who did?
Now, kind of a fun little game. It would be kind of interesting. Now that we see the lineup, now Kenny Wynn has made it 120 to go with pocket 9s. Makes it 120 to go with pocket 9s, kind of in midish position.
Ace, queen, race. Ken?
And Carlos is not going to call. And Corporation Mike is probably not going to call this either. Not heads up. No, he's not going to. A lot of respect given to Kenny Wynn there. Seat number 3. Kind of a fun little game. What I'd love to do is I want people on 2+2 and emailing. Let me know who you think is going to win tonight. Who's going to be the big winner tonight, and who is going to be the big loser tonight. Just kind of a fun little experiment. You see who's out there. We got Mo, we got Corporation Mike, Kenny Wynn, Kirk Hobbs, Dr. Allen, Carlos, Barry, and Bart. Who is going to be the big winner tonight, and who is going to be the big loser? I'd love to hear your guesses. We got a straddle here by Mike.
I got 10-9.
Makes it $40 to play.
Not right now, I don't have 10-9.
And Carlos has rushed back to the table to see his 5-3. And he makes it 150 to go with 5-3.
Whatever two you have, stick those.
And Mike is going to call him, and we're going to see this heads up. about $330 pot. Actually, $370 pot.
It's clean suited.
Wow, pretty ugly flop for both hands.
400.
Ken High still in the lead here.
I'm sorry, Michael.
200 each. Yeah, 600 bucks.
Now, Mike does have a gut shot straight draw, but if a jack were to come and giving him the straight, anybody with a king would have straight.
Where am I going to 50?
And Mike checks over to Carlos. And Carlos bets $400. Mike's also got that flush draw. I'm not sure how valuable the 8 of clubs is. If you think you're beat here, you think you're beat. Not much of a draw. You're drawing to a club or a jack. This is one of those times you really. Mike's pretty much in a raise or fold situation. I really don't think you can just call him here.
It's not good. We're in internet.
Yeah, Mike's asking him to show him one, but Carlos obviously can't show him one. Although actually, if Carlos showed him one, you'd probably assume that the other card was an ace.
It's only for you to see, okay?
Turn actually was a 3 of spades, and Carlos actually would have gotten it.
Show one, show off.
Can't blame Mike, though. Obviously, he's got 10-8 there.
Show one, show off.
More often than not, you're going to throw that away. And does he show the bluff again? He shows the bluff again.
Hold on to those two.
You know what you did the other day to me?
They had an 8 high flush draw. Collection. 10 8 with the 8 of clubs. Collection.
Once again, I want to keep the show interactive. You can email me at live@thebike.com. You can also follow a live thread over at 2+2.
Pepsi and a water pit.
I'm giving him his money back.
You're giving me my money back. Thank you. I needed it.
I didn't mean to do it to you, Mike.
I was giving you two.
Buttons, Bart is on the button here.
I wish more people would.
Because you
Corporation Mike in the big blind.
Last night, he pushed all in. Pot is almost 14,000.
Now, actually, Bart's got 7-6 of clubs on the button. I'm going to try to keep track of Bart's hands all night long.
5 high.
Keep you guys abreast of what he is folding and what he's playing.
Inside and down.
You know what? I was surprised the other day. I went with King 10, nothing on the flop, and the Armenian guy didn't call me.
And I'm not sure what Carlos is actually limped around here. Flop is 10-8 deuce, rainbow. Now, Mike got the best hand here with King 8. He's going to bet $50. Action's over to Carlos. He's got nothing. He's got ace high, but he's going to call. That'll get Bart out of this, I'm sure. He's got a gut shot, but he's got the ass end of it. I don't think he's going to call for a 9. Is he? And he calls. Wow, Bart is going to call this for the bottom end of a gut shot? I guess he thinks if he hits his 9, he figures it's good and he can make a lot of money. Well, he hits a 6, and that's no good. Mike still has the best hand here with King 8. And Mike's going to bet 160 into about I want to say about a $300 pot. So pot's now 560. And Carlos is going to call again now. Now, Carlos is a gut shot. Now, if a 9 were to come, Carlos would have a straight. Now, Carlos obviously can also catch an ace to win this hand. And can Bart call this though? $260? No, I don't think so. I didn't think he could call a flop, but he took one off. And Bart throws it away. And this pot is quickly $800. And the river is a 9. And look at that. Carlos backs into the straight. Same straight that Bart would have had. And look at that. Mike makes it 100. And Carlos raises it up to 500. So the pot is now, I want to say, 1,400, 400 to call. And Mike really can't beat anything. Can't beat a 7. He can't beat 2 pair. He can't even beat a 10. I mean, he can really only beat, say, I'm trying to manufacture a hand that maybe Mike could beat. And I can't come up with one. I mean, 9-7, Jack 9, you can't beat those. I mean, Mike can't beat anything. And Mike is right. He said he had the best hand in the flop as he throws it away, and he was right. He did have the best hand in the flop, but this is a 7-card game, so stop crying, Mike. Anyway, I'm really happy to see the Greek poker god in my midst. How are you, buddy?
How you doing, David?
Good to see you, man. George Giorgio, in the booth.
There you go.
In the booth. Hey, I'm only going to screw it up for so long, okay? We butcher names here regularly on Live the Bike.
Thank you. Thank
Every
you.
once in a while, I want to get it right.
How you doing, Ronnie?
Yeah. Pretty exciting night here. I saw you and Hav kind of flip for.
We fit for it because this is a juicy table. You want to be in this game, that's for sure. You got Corporation Mike, action player. Carlos is bluffing his heart out today. You got to love that.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Mo's in the game. That's always good for the game. This is a very good, nice lineup tonight.
Yeah, it was funny when the game first started out. It didn't look that good because Carlos had said he was going to go home. Corporation Mike wasn't here yet, you know, and it looked kind of tight with Kirk and you know, Kenny Wynn and Dr. Allen and Bart. And I was like, okay, what kind of game is this going to be? Now Kenny has turned trip jacks here, but of course Mike's going to take a shot at it, right? Mike's going to take a shot at it with 4 high. And Kenny Wynn's just going to call with the 3 jacks. He's going to see if Mike bluffs at it again.
Ooh.
Well, now Kenny has made a full house here. And look at this. Mike bets 300. Trying to steal this. Trying to maybe get Kenny off of a 10.
If Kenny just had the 10, I'm sure he'd be off the hand by now.
And look at that. And Kenny Kenny puts a raise in there, and before the money even hits the felt, Mike is folded.
Actually, Mike was down in Burbank today. We were playing some hoops. Me, Harv, Mike. Very good game. Played against some locals. And Mike did his job. He held us up. Very strong game at the Y.
Did you? Okay, cool. You guys represented? You guys wear like your Bicycle Casino T-shirts or something like that? Representing?
Next time.
Next time. We get you like Live at the Bike T-shirts, man. Live at the Bike, like I mean Live at the Bike, like basketball team or something. Y? Exactly. Ace Queen of Diamonds here for Kirk, and he's going to raise it up into small blinds. Once again, we're playing 10-20 No Limit Hold'em. I'm David Tuckman here with George Giorgio, the Greek poker god. We're going to have some guest commentary all night.
Kurt has a very tight reputation, so he should be able to lay this down. Corporation Mike has the, he's already folded.
Yeah, he threw it away. Carlos called him, though, so the pot's going to be at $340 to the flop. And look at the flop. Wow, what a flop for Kirk. I mean, that is your once-a-week flop. He's got top pair.
Wow.
And he's got the diamond draw as well, nut diamond draw. Huge flop. Kirk follows through with another bet. Carlos obviously going to throw away deuce 4 offsuit. The turn actually was an ace. Kirk would have trip aces.
And against Carlos, I don't mind slow playing it there. Give him a chance to bluff at the pot.
Yeah, against one player there, exactly.
Right.
Maybe. If you have any questions for the Greek Poker Guide, you can email us at live@thebike.com. We're also going to get Corporation Mike here in the booth later on. Get some insight into that big ball dome of his. Button is in seat number 3. Kenny Wynn.
Cool for a gut shot earlier. Don't mind that play at all. If he hits, he should get paid at this table.
You're talking about Bart.
Yeah.
The only thing I was confused was it was the bottom end of the gut shot. I mean, the 9. Then he has 6, 7, 8, 9. And I was going, okay. There's a lot of scary cards that can come up. But obviously he took a shot at it. He figured with Carlos and Mike in the pot, good chance he maybe, and plus being on the button, maybe he can win a big pot for just $50. Now we get a raise here for Carlos.
Oh.
He made it $240 to go with King Queen. He makes a big pre-flop raise, doesn't he? I mean, $240. We're only playing 10-20.
He does, and I'm not really sure why, but he definitely builds the pot up. So if he's going to win a pot, he's going to win a big one.
I mean, you wonder. I mean, I know on Wednesday night Carlos was playing 20-40. Right. And you wonder if maybe it's a holdover from that game where he was making it 240 to go in the 2040 game, and he figured, oh, wait, well, 240 is what it is.
Definitely is having some fun with this.
Yeah.
Mikey plays too. How about that? That's doubles. They play some table tennis today. George Booth.
So do you got a piece of Hob at least in this game?
Not at this game. I'm going to actually go outside, and if they don't mind, I'm going to play the game. I'll play with these guys, each and every one of them, about 20 times at least.
Yeah, I'm sure. Obviously, you're really familiar with all these guys. Button moves over to seat number 4. That's Kirk.
I did notice Harv talk about a table tennis game we had today. I beat them both Mikey and Harv today, so...
A little ping pong?
A little ping pong. Tarsi's got pretty much the same hand he had last time.
Now, interesting here, he is in first position. He's under the gun. I mean, I got to tell you, if I'm under the gun with King, Queen of Diamonds, I'm not sure if I'm making it 240 to go. Are you?
Not at all, but I'm sure he's going to get called here by Mike in position.
I mean, obviously the danger of playing a hand like that under the gun, I mean, what kind of things can you obviously, what are the dangers of playing a hand like that from out of position?
I mean, if it doesn't hit you, I mean, if someone's calling you with a better queen, a better king, you're in big trouble.
And now Mike is calling with ace-10. Obviously, oftentimes with a raise as big as 240, somebody will just smooth call you with ace-king.
Absolutely.
If a king falls, then what do you do? Well, here, this is a good flop for him, obviously. Carlos was behind, and he's going to put 500 in the pot, and he just splashes it out there. But Mike's got nothing. Mike's got ace
Mike's
high.
got nothing, so.
No pair, no draw. And Carlos is on fire again. And you wonder if Carlos is kind of feeling a little bit invincible after his big $29,000 win on Wednesday.
Well, I'm predicting Carlos goes broke in this game by the end of the night.
I hope not. I'm actually.
Now, he may come out of pocket, but I'm going to go out on a limb and say someone's going to take him down.
Yeah, I got to tell you, I got to tell you, I'm hoping here. Okay, Jason Whitmore says the biggest winner will either be Mike Barry or Carlos, and the biggest loser will either be Mike Barry or Carlos. Well, there you go. That's really going on a limb there, Jason. Thanks for the email.
Ones, I'm going to try to be nice today. Be tough,
Actually, I kind of like Mo in this game, but I heard he's already down 2,000.
Is he really? He must have been right before the show started,
Right.
obviously. We haven't had that many big hands yet.
Okay.
Carlos has pretty much been betting and raising and bluffing. Now, Barry Woods has got an interesting hand. Barry Woods has actually not played a hand at all. Now, Hobbs got pocket queens, and he is on, I want to say he's on the button. He is on the button, yeah, that little white thing.
Harvey's going to raise this up, I'm sure.
Oh, clearly, right? Now, Ace-King, Kenny Wynn actually made it 120 to go.
With Ace King.
With Ace-King in kind of late position.
So Harvey's just smooth ball?
And Harvey's going to make it 320 to go.
320.
And I like the raise. Normally, a lot of players will go, well, Kenny Wynn is so tight, I don't want to raise him. But I think that's the exact reason why you do raise him.
Absolutely.
You want to figure out where he's at.
Exactly. And not a huge raise, so if he comes over the top huge, Hoff can easily lay down his hand.
Oh, definitely. If Kenny were to raise this, now the only problem is there any way, now that everybody else is folded, now here's the flop, it's 7 high. Is there any way that Kenny would smooth call here with aces, trying to set a trap?
Against Hobb, I highly doubt it.
Really? I mean, why not? I mean, you think about it. I'm just going to throw this at you. If I make it 120, if I'm Kenny Wynn, I know Hobb knows I'm tight. I make it 120 to go with my aces or my kings, right? Well, now Hobbs made it 320 to go. I can automatically put Hobb on either kings, queens. If I have aces, I can put him on kings or queens.
Well, if you're willing to lay down aces if a king or a queen hits or king-queen hits in the flop, but rather you want to go up against Mikey, who might be playing an ace-10, ace-jack, and you're going to completely dominate it.
Right. I'm just saying, I mean, once Mike folds, now Hobbs made it 500 to go, and obviously Kenny Wynn's not going to play. Easy hand for Kenny Wynn to throw away. I mean, my only thought is, now obviously once you get another caller in there, let's say Mike calls, okay, obviously you're going to raise if you have aces. That's an easy call. But once everybody else folds and it's already heads up, and because of the way Hobbs played the hand, I can almost put him down on, okay, this guy's either got queens, kings, or aces. Now if I have aces, can I trap him?
You could, but I mean, Hobbs got the button. Also, he's got position on you too. And I don't know if Hobbs definitely not the fish at this table.
No, definitely not. Definitely not.
So I mean,
anybody that listens to the show,
if you hit your hand, you're going to make small money. If Hobbs hits his queens and kings with aces, you're going to lose big money. So
now Bart has actually raised it to 120, I think, from under the gun.
Wow.
With the ace-jack suited. I mean, that's a real aggressive play for him. Now it is suited. And I guess he's kind of playing his image in the sense that everybody puts him on. If Bart is raising under the gun, he must have jacks or better.
I guess if you're playing it, that's the way to play it.
Yeah. And Bart is going to take down a $30 pot. No flop there. No, I mean, anybody that listens to this show hears me rave about Hobbs' game. I got to tell you, if I look at this game here, there are a lot of players in this game where I respect a lot of the play of this game from a lot of players. Hobb is probably one of the players I respect the most.
Right.
I really
Absolutely.
like Hobbs' game. He knows how to change gears. He's patient when he's patient when he has to be patient. He's disciplined when he has to be disciplined. He's aggressive. I mean, he really knows how to mix it up. One of the better players I've seen here at Live the Bike.
It's very difficult to take Hobbs' money. I mean, it's got to be huge hand against another huge hand, or
right.
He's not going to bluff away a ton of chips.
Of course not. And that's the only reason why I'm thinking if I have aces in that case against Hobb, I might smooth call it and not give away the strength of my hand because I know Hobb is good enough to get away from queens and kings.
Nothing against that play whatsoever, but in it.
That was going to happen, huh?
Now Carlos raised it up to $60. Got a call from Barry. Bart decided to call as well with deuces. And, of course, Mike, who had straddled pre-flop, he is going to make it 300 more with ace-10. Well, that's not going to stop Carlos. Carlos is going to call the king-9. And Bart is now it's a math question for Bart. He's trying to think, do I have enough money to take it off? No, he doesn't.
If you're not thinking about the money, that would have been an okay call for the deuces.
Well, he didn't hit anything here, and neither player has. And Mike's going to continuation bet. He's going to bet, I want to say $500 into about a $700 pot. And he just out and out lies and says, I have a big hand to Carlos.
Well, it is bigger
Now,
than
why
what
does he say
Carlos
that?
has.
Why does he say that? Does he say that because he doesn't want to call? He would say that when he has a big hand, too, wouldn't he?
I think he's saying it more to get information from Carlos.
Okay. Then to get information?
Carlos can't just smooth call this hand. If he's going to play it, he's going to play for a raise, but looks like he's going to mark the hand.
Yeah, I imagine he's going to throw it away.
And the hand's gone in the middle.
Got an email here from Steve. He says, hey, how do you guys determine who plays at the feature table each night? Is it hard to get in a game? Just wondering. Thanks, Steve. Not really that hard. If you come on down to the bike and you sign up, you can play. Obviously, each night is different. Some of the bigger nights, say Wednesdays and Friday nights, sometimes do have a waiting list in the sense you have to contact Mo, who's our No Limit host, and he'll put you on the board. Button moves over to seat number 8. Once again, I'm David Tuckman. I'm in the booth with the Greek poker god, George Giorgio, guest commentator tonight. Bart Hansen is in the game. Our own, there he is.
And Barry's got the button here. Now, Barry hasn't played many hands at all.
Yeah, now Barry's got 9 deuce of spades, and this time Carlos has got a big hand. Carlos has got king-king.
It'll be interesting to see how much he makes it. Is it going to be the normal 240 that he's been making it, or is he going to...
Makes it 300 to go. And that's not a bad raise.
Okay.
2 players already limped in.
Sure.
So now he's got 2 limpers, plus he's got a straddled pot. Makes it 300. And is Mike going to get involved? Now, Mike's pretty deep here.
Mike is going to call the hand.
And he's going to call this. And it's once again, it's the Mike and Carlos show.
Let's see if an ace hits on a flop here, or...
Now, you wonder if an ace hits the flop. I mean, Carlos can get away from kings there, right?
That's I'm not really sure he can. Not on the flop. Maybe on the turn if it's...
Well, there it is. Let's see.
All right, let's see.
Let's see if Carlos can get away from it. I mean, you got to wonder...
I'm willing to... I don't think so.
Let me ask you this, though.
I don't
If
think
you're
he goes
Mike,
close.
are you 100% sure you're the best hand here?
Well, he's going to find out. What was the bet?
Big. I can be.
Ooh. Carlos bets out 500.
Well, Mike had checked to Carlos. Carlos bets 500. The pot is now 1,200. 500 to call.
You know what I have, Carlos?
And Carlos says he can beat an 8.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
Show me one. I show you one.
You first.
Oh, if he shows him a king.
Did he show him both kings? Carlos showed him both cards. Carlos, what are you doing, buddy?
No?
Carlos, no, what are you doing?
Oh, wow.
Are you kidding me?
I think I'm winning the bet so far, huh?
Mike, he showed him the hand. What is he doing? I got to tell you, just out of principle, I'm rooting
Now
for a king now.
two-pair.
Just out of principle, I got to root for a king now. And Mike moves all in.
I check.
Oh, he checked. I thought he moved all in. I would move all in.
You don't go.
Why not?
Go ahead. I check.
I'm all
I
in.
will let you go all in.
I'm all in.
Okay, now, and Mike moves all in, knowing he has the best hand. Are you kidding me?
Are you sure he showed him both hands? Both cards?
He showed him both. I turned over one, and I'm like, okay, that's not a bad play. You show him one card.
Yeah, that's a great play to show him one card, but you show him both cards? And
Although
then- and then you
I
call a
got to
raise?
tell you, I don't know if I show him either card. Because you show him one card, you're going, why would you want him? If you have ace king here, why would you show him a king, right? Rarely does somebody show a card if you're winning.
And Carlos can only win now if basically he puts Mike on a bluff or...
Carlos can't win. Mike's all in. 0. Carlos that cannot win.
Well,
Mike is already.
I'm just saying what's going through Carlos's mind
Mike
right
can.
now.
Carlos can only win if Mike throws his hand in the muck.
Save him some money. That's a win.
Are you kidding me? This would be like the biggest birthday present in the world. Guy shows you his hand. You move all in. And Mike's actually played it pretty well by checking one time.
Oh, I like the check on the
I got
on
to
the
tell you,
turn. He hit two
how
pairs.
funny would it have been if a king came on the river? Oh, I swear to God, I would have peed in my pants like a little girl.
I mean, how'd you like playing high-stakes poker when someone shows you your 2 cards and you show them nothing?
Unfriggin' real, I swear to God.
He's going to show him the 7. Watch this.
No, I think he flipped the ace over.
Oh, he did? Okay.
I think he flipped the ace over finally.
Wow. $1,000
Well, I mean,
gift there for
he
Mike.
made an extra $1,000 out of it. Jeez. Well, here, live at the bike, man. You cannot write this stuff on TV, okay? You tell me where you've seen that on the World Poker Tour or on the World Series, ESPN. Only here at Live at the Bike. Monday through Friday, 7 to 10. Always live, always raw, always unedited. Button moves over to Bart.
Mistake number 1 right there.
And is Bart going to show us his hand? Yeah, Bart's got 7-3 offsuit. We're going to try to keep a track of what he has throughout the night, what he's folding, what he's playing. And we're going to see this 3 ways.
Kenny's got pocket 9s.
I almost took jack.
Yeah, he did not raise in under the gun in the first spot. And he got a terrible flop for him. Ace Jack 10. Really an awful flop. Carlos is going to take a shot at it, though. He's got a flush draw. Plus, he's got a gut shot. It's not a bad flop for him at all.
He's actually the favorite on that flop. Look at that.
Yeah.
55-44.
Well, you think of all the cards that help him, obviously. A queen gives him a win.
Right.
The king gives him a win. Any club gives him a win.
Right.
A lot of cards.
I'd have to double you up on that hand, Carlos.
Got a question here from Justin. He says, hey, here at a local casino in Vegas, they have a position open for a prop player in their poker room. They spread anything from 3 to 6 to 10, 20 limit, as well as a no-limit game. What would be a good bankroll to have for that type of action? What kind of grind should I expect being a prop? I figure you guys are the experts on this situation, so here I am asking. Well, I have prop for 2 years, and I'm going to have to get to this in a second. Wow. Bart's got pocket aces, and Hobbs got queens.
Oh, wow.
And Carlos has got 6s. Wow. Now, Bart doubled up early in the afternoon. He had pocket aces. I was watching the hands. Barry Woods had ace-queen. Bart had aces, and another gentleman had jacks. And the flop came out ace-jack blank.
Wow.
And Bart doubled up off the other guy. Now, Barry actually got rid of ace-queen. Now, what was the original bet by Hobb? He actually limped in. Hobb limped in. Carlos made it 120. And then Bart made it 330. And now Hobb is going to call, and Carlos is going to call,
Right.
and we are going to see an $1,100 pot.
Wow.
Actually, about a $1,050 pot. to
See,
the flop.
ace, queen, 6 on the flop.
That would be great. And there's the ace again. Oh, wow. And Hobbs got the queen of spades. All spades out there. Ace, jack, 7.
It's actually
And
a
just like
good
earlier,
flop for Hobb.
almost the exact flop as earlier where Bart flopped a set of aces and somebody else had a set of jacks. And I got to tell you, Hobb has got the second nut spade draw. How do you proceed here with 2 queens, though?
Well, he can put a bet in and represent an ace, but
Well, Carlos is going to bet this.
Carlos is just
He is just fishing up. I mean, you
Just-
got to. We always talk about players that are paying attention to other players at the table. Carlos doesn't realize that he's in a hand with Hobb and Bart. I mean, come on, these guys are not in there
right.
with nothing.
And Bart's got to raise his hand. If he just limps to get, no, he cannot limp on this.
No, he's not going to. I'm assuming he's going to raise this up. Now, how much is the bet by Carlos? $240 raise there, bet by Carlos. And Bart's going to raise it up. He makes it $800. So it's a $560 raise.
So I think Hobbs got enough information here. Unless he thinks his queen is good.
Yeah, I mean,
If it hits.
the only problem, though, is do you put Bart, what do you put Bart on here? He has re-raised Carlos. He hasn't re-raised you, he's re-raised Carlos. Could he have ace-king?
Well, he's telling you he doesn't have a draw, is what he's telling you. He doesn't want the draw to get there. So then you go through the hands he could have. He could have ace-king, possibly ace-queen, maybe, but pretty much either kings. He's going to
So you
represent.
think maybe kings with the king of spades?
King with a king of spades.
I mean, that would be the worst hand
maybe
possible, obviously.
jacks. Maybe an ace. And
And he's going to throw it away, and Carlos is going to throw it away, and Bart's going to take this down. Bart wins himself about a $1,500 pot. Nice win there for Bart.
Good size pot.
Always nice when you flop a set of aces. Button is actually going to move over to seat number 2. That's Mike.
Did we wrap it for the Turning River right there?
We did. I didn't see it, though.
We do have.
I think it's clear, though, that Hobbs got to get out of there, obviously.
Absolutely.
But it's funny how we always talk. I used to always talk to Barry Woods about this because I really like Barry Woods. I'm good friends with him. And we always talk about if there's one weakness in Barry Woods' game is he's not paying attention to who is in the hand he's with. You know, he almost plays Hollywood Russ or Kenny Wynn and Corporation Mike the same.
The same way, huh?
And you can't. And you see Carlos there. He's playing that hand like he was in a pot with Mike.
I'm sure if Bart didn't have a great hand right there, Hobb would have re-raised that hand to find out exactly where he was at
Yeah,
with
well,
Carlos.
I mean,
But he would never do that, obviously, with Bart. So two totally different players in different spectrums.
right, exactly. I mean, Hobb obviously paying attention there, though. We got a raise here on the button from Corporation Mike. Now, Hobb actually limped in with Ace-King. And he is going to just call. Now, Mike's got King-Queen, one of those really dominated hands. He's got to be careful. But King falls.
Carlos
How
is
much-
in with Ace-8, and I wonder if that brings in Mo here with a suited ace.
Yeah, the odds are an ace will not fall.
Chances are pretty slim.
If an ace falls, obviously Hobbs in great shape. And there's the ace. Look at that. Wow. Now, Hobbs really in good shape because he's got the king of spades as well.
But has anyone got ace? Wow. I think Mike.
And Hobbs is going to bet right into it. And he's going to bet.
Carlos re-raised to
Yeah, now,
800.
now Hobb made it, I believe Hobb made it 330, and Carlos made it 800 to go. Carlos is showing the ace-8. And Carlos shows him the ace.
And I think you're going to get re-raised here. Maybe
And
even
Hobb is
all
thinking
in.
about it here. Now, obviously, you can't beat ace-jack. You can't beat ace-4. But once you see the ace, you're only losing to two hands. That's it.
And just as you were mentioning before, you're playing against Carlos here, who's already showed a few bluffs. We know how he plays. He's a loose player.
Yeah.
He's going to get raised right here.
Now, how deep is Hobb? Try.
What?
He's got about $3,000. And Carlos has got him covered. And Hobb is going to
There you
move
go.
all in there and really put Carlos to the test. This pot is now going to be about, wow, 3,800. This pot is about, I want to say this pot's about $5,000. 2,200 to call.
I would not be shocked if Carlos actually calls this in.
What can he beat? I mean, obviously, I know it's Carlos.
Not much.
Yeah, I mean,
But he's got top pair, and that's sometimes good for Carlos.
yeah, I mean, it's funny, you rate players anywhere from, I rate players when I say their game, I rate players anywhere from -3 to +3. -3 being the best players out there. Hobb might be a -3 or a -2. While Carlos is clearly a +2 or +3. And Carlos calls this. Look at this. Wow. And
There you
unless
go.
Hobb gets a terrible beat here,
And are they going to run it a few
Hobb is
times?
going to double up. Now,
3
this
times.
pot is $7,200. And they're going to run it 3 times. And look at, there's the 8 on the turn the first time. Oh, wow. I got to tell you, if you're going to hit 1-8, you want to hit them both right there, right?
Absolutely.
Because they're going to run it
And
3 times.
There's a
4.
4. Could be a chop. No, it is.
No, it's not a chop there, obviously. Well, actually, it couldn't have been a chop.
With a king.
With an ace only, actually. Only an ace or a 4 would have chopped it up. And there's a spade. And actually, Hobb is going to make the king-high flush in the last one. Hobb's going to win 2/3 of that pot.
Wow, Carlos got very lucky to even get some of his money back there.
Yeah, I mean, he got 1/3 out of the pot. Now it's $7,200 pot, so you can do the math for yourself. About $2,400 for Carlos, $4,800 for Hobb. Hobb wins himself a nice pot. Now, obviously, once the 4 comes on the turn on the second run, the only way they're going to split that is if an ace, another ace falls.
Yes,
There
yes.
are no more than aces.
Yes, Harv had the king. He would have moved
Needed a 4.
Yeah.
Actually, just a 4.
So you run it once and you get absolutely screwed.
Now we're going to do a chip count, but it's going to be actually before this hand. And here we go. We got $40,000 on the table. Mike's got the table covered with $12,000. Now Carlos is actually down about $2,500 for this. So let's say he's got, say, $5,700. Well, let's just see how they're doing. Mike's at $2,000. Dr. Allen up $1,500. Kirk up $600. Carlos is actually down probably more like $4,200 now, $4,500.
Just that one pot alone.
Yeah, and Hobb obviously is suddenly up about $2,000.
He's a big winner for the night
Yeah.
so far.
Also, I have to give him an extra 600.
Once again, we're live at the bike. I'm David Tuckman here with the Greek poker guard, Giorgio.
So I remember I told you early in the show that Carlos goes broke. Well, he just avoided it by a whisker right there.
Yeah.
So
I got to tell you, that Hobb must have gotten sick when he sees the 8. And then at that point, you're just going, well, at least another 8 comes.
yeah, I mean, there's two ways of looking at it. You're like, thank you, thank God I ran it 3 times.
Yeah.
Right? I mean,
Hey.
there's one way to look at it. Or I would have lost, my entire stack.
Yeah, if you only ran it one time,
Right.
that's it, done.
And you see
Hobb
the
is
second
broke.
8.
Hobb goes to felt,
Right.
and he's left muttering to himself. You're probably out there to take a seat. Button's in seat number 3. That's Kenny Wynn. Hobb, Barry Woods is going to limp in with a Jack 10.
I haven't seen a lot of action from Barry today at all. I mean, I know he hasn't gotten caught, but never stopped him before. I think
He said he's been running bad lately, and I think that's affected him. Well, look at this flop for him. He's flopped the nuts. He's flopped the absolute nuts. He has the straight with Jack 10. Flop is Ace, King, Queen. And Hobb has got second pair. Unfortunately for him, it's Hobb who's got King 10. You're not going to get any action out of Hobb.
and Barry should basically.
Wow, and Kirk is calling this.
Wow. Now Kurt is probably planning to make a play if you're going to call,
I would assume so, right? He's got 7-8 high.
but you cannot bluff out the nuts. So,
No, not usually. And what is Kirk going to do here? Is he going to? He checks it again. Now, I mean, is he thinking Barry's going to bet here and then Kirk's going to check raise him? I mean, I'm baffled. Let's see the play.
now how much is in the? Oh,
And-
that's a
And Barry bets a kind of a weak $130 bet here.
that's a great bet.
Oh, it's kind of like, come on, please, make the move,
Exactly.
Kirk, please.
So if you don't run it, and he pop,
And here we go. Wow.
And Kirk's going to call here again. Now you wonder,
Are we sure we got his cut?
yeah, there it is, 7-8. Look at that.
7-8.
Yeah, Ronnie's looked up the cards like 4 times. You wonder, is Kirk going to try to represent a spade if a
Going to
spade
try and
falls?
represent.
But I mean, is Barry really the one you want to be bluffing?
I don't think you can get Barry even if a. If
I
a
tell you, man, you
spade-
can't write this stuff.
Oh,
And there's
and there
a
it
spade.
is, and wow.
And the board pairs.
And the board pairs up.
And look, and Kirk's going to bet. What is he betting?
100. You cannot bluff. How much is in the pot?
The pot is like $600. You put
Yeah, that's
150
not
in there.
going to work.
I mean, that's almost laughable.
And now, if you go all in, it may. All right.
I got to tell you though. Let me ask you this though. Now Kirk bets 150. now. Kirk bets 150 on the turn, on the river there, as a bluff. Is there any value to Barry raising that? Look at the flop. Look at going, and look at the person you're playing against.
No, not at all. I mean, I would just call the one. I mean, you can't really beat any. If he got there, he got there.
If he has a full house, obviously you're not going to get him off.
You're going to
If
get
you have a
raised for a
flush,
full house.
if you have a flush, you're not going to get him off. The flush.
Absolutely. So,
I mean, that's the only thing I'm wondering is I'm really surprised Barry
and
raises.
you're right.
it.
It's against one of the tightest players on the table, so there's really no value right there. But
I'm just not sure what Kirk is doing there. Though. I mean, you're trying to set
I
up
think
a
the
play,
150. Yeah, he was trying to set up a play, but
but then he bet
you
150
got to
into
pull. I mean,
$600.
you got to pull the trigger. If you're going to do it, do it. And I'll say, okay, you took a shot at it. Unfortunately, the other
Exactly. I mean,
person-
if you're going to stick your balls on the table, stick them out there. What the hell is
Absolutely.
that? I mean, if he comes out and bets 600 in the river, then Barry's really put to the test.
But if he comes in with a re-raise right there
Yeah.
to the 800, I'm not sure how much Barry had.
Oh,
if he
Barry's
could
not
get him.
going anywhere, though. We know
But-
Barry.
I'm just saying, that would have been another way of playing it. But
Now, we got this 3 ways. It was actually raised by live straddle by Carlos. And Mike has made it 240 to go and called in both spots. And this pot is about $750 to go. And Dr. Allen flops top set. 9, 6, 4. All clubs, though. Mike is the only club, but it's only a 3 of clubs. And look at Mike. Mike made it 240 out of the straddle with Jack 3. It was Carlos's straddle, and Mike decided to try to take a shot at it with Jack 3. And Dr. Allen has bet $600 into this flop. And Carlos has got second pair. Ace 6 of hearts. We are not kidding here. This is an insane lineup, I got to tell you.
wow. Now,
You must be killing yourself that you're in here and not in the game. This
so
is what I
look,
do on a
no-
nightly basis, man. I tell you, I swear to God.
no one's getting up off of this table.
No, of course not.
Tonight, so
And Carlos is calling.
she's just a flat. And is he tilted a little bit?
calling? I mean, what is he calling with, though?
Wow.
He's almost drawing. Actually, he is drawing dead. Oh, my God, and now he made 2 pair.
Oh,
Oh, you got to be kidding me.
yeah,
The ace of diamonds on the turn
yeah,
there.
he's done.
Oh, wow. Well, he's not drawing dead here. He can catch an ace and an ace only. And Dr. Allen is not going to run it. Well, actually, are they going to? They are going to run it 3 times here. Jack of spades on the first one.
Now,
Not
I'm going
gonna
to tell
do
you,
it.
that's one of the times I don't think I run it.
Deuce of spades. Why? What's the difference? Changes nothing. And another deuce, and that changes nothing. And Dr. Allen is going to win it all 3 times, and he doubles up through Carlos. And I got to tell you, the funniest thing, anybody listening to last night's show, I was talking about Carlos, and immediately Bart came to his defense. Are you kidding me? I mean, what is Bart defending?
I didn't hear. What was he saying yesterday?
I
He
actually
was defending Carlos's game?
Well, I was talking about we had a special night last night. We had a birthday party last night.
Oh, okay.
And it was a $200 game. Most of the players were rather inexperienced.
Okay.
And I was actually saying, well, you know, a lot of the players in this game, are they really any worse than, say, Carlos? I go,
Right.
let's say if I put Carlos in this game, do you think Carlos would dominate this game? No, of course not.
No.
And Bart was like, whoa, don't get on Carlos.
Oh, Carlos just puts a lot of chips on the table, and sometimes he can take down a pot or bluff a pot, and then gets paid when he actually does have a hand.
Well, if the deck hits him in the
But
face,
I
yeah,
mean,
he's gonna
right
make
now
money.
he's got 2 pair, and again going all in against one of the tightest people on the table, or calling the ace 6.
Okay, now how's this for a play, though? Now that Carlos has got pocket jacks, and he's in the big blinds,
It's
and I got to tell you,
240 to go.
if somebody raises it, if I'm Carlos, I move all in, act like I'm tilting. How's that for a play for Carlos? Because you might get called by a hand as weak as, say, ace-jack or ace-queen or ace-10, or even pocket eights. Now, nobody's really got much, though.
Now, Hav likes this hand.
Well, Hav is actually limped in, and Carlos made it 200 more, and Hav called. And there's a set of jacks there for Carlos, and Hav has got nothing. Flop is king, jack, 4, 2 hearts. There it is.
Oh, and I like that bet by Carlos. I mean, betting into pretty much the nut hand.
I like
Great
it,
play.
yeah, definitely. Carlos bets his hand, and he's going to take it down. Hav throws it away.
Now, if Hav had ace-king right there, we would see some fireworks.
Definitely. Hav limped in there with deuce 3 diamonds. Carlos takes down a small pot. Usually not a winning strategy in No Limit Hold'em to lose the big ones and win the small ones, though.
Doesn't usually help.
No, not you. We got some more predictions here. Let's see. Mord 2 says, well, winner, Hav's going to win the most. Mike's going to lose the least. And he thinks Bart is going to win $700. He also wanted to know what happened to Bart's table mic. Well, we didn't give him Mike. Maybe we should next time, but. And we got a raise here out of seat 2. Corporation Mike has made it $90 to go. Carlos is going to call, and we're going to see this heads up between Mike and Carlos. And neither player's hit anything here. Carlos still in the lead with ace high. Carlos is going to check.
And that's just carte blanche for Mike to bet.
Yeah, of course. Well, you'd probably bet too. If you raise pre-flop, your head's up, the guy checks to you. More often than not, you're going to bet that.
Absolutely.
And Mike bets $250, and Carlos calls this, and the pot is now quickly $750. Turn is a queen, and that changes absolutely nothing.
Let's see if Carlos puts out a bet here, though.
And he does.
It's a nice bet.
And he bets 300. Nice play by Carlos.
Very
You know,
nicely
I'm
done.
sitting here ragging him, but that's a nice play there by him.
That's a very nice play.
I got an email here from Jared Pondalik. He said, hey, man, what's up with Corporation Mike's shirt? I am so disappointed with his style tonight.
I guess Jared wanted the pink shirt look again, yeah?
I guess so. You know, well, Mike's he's always wearing something kind of cool, you know,
Right,
some
right.
button down. It's hot out here, man. I got to tell you, I don't know where you're from, Jared, but it's like 85, it was like 90 degrees and
It
humid
was a
today.
super hot day today, yeah.
Yeah, it really was. I got to tell you. Straddled pot button is in seat number 7. Small blind is Bart. Big blind is Mo. And,
Haven't heard a lot from Mo tonight at all.
yeah, you know, when the game plays like this, all you can do is really wait for
Kind
the
of
cards.
wait your spots, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, what are you going to do? Really push the action? And we're going to see this
And guess who took
heads up.
people in the pot, huh?
Surprise, surprise, right? Carlos and Mike. Flop is ace, king, 3, 2 spades. Turn is a king. And Mike's going to take a shot at it. And he bet $60. Carlos got 8 high. I imagine he's going to throw it away, and he does. Mike takes it down.
It's the Mike and Carlos show tonight.
Well, we got another email here from James Loft, and he says, I think seat number 5, Hav, is going to be the big winner. We like to call.
Everyone's coming in with those predictions right after he took down the big putt, huh?
Yeah, we like to call Hav midnight here. Well, I got to tell you, I mean,
Now, I have a question for you, Dave. Why do you call him midnight exactly?
I don't know. You guys, when I first met you guys, when you
He
first
said
came on
it?
the show the first time, you told us you were the Greek poker god.
I can
And
guarantee
he said
you
he was
Harv never
midnight.
said. I got to see it in writing.
He said because he brings the darkness.
Because he brings the darkness, huh?
I mean, he might have said it. He might have said it kind of in jest, kind of just messing around. But we took to it, and we, wherever
I
he
like
is
that.
midnight.
I like that.
Now it's funny. I actually think Hav is probably one of the most solid players at this table, but I don't think he'll be the big winner. Hav is rarely going to be the big winner of the game because he doesn't play that many hands.
Right. I've got my money on Mike being the big winner tonight.
Yeah, you think it's Mike's night?
Yeah.
Well, how about a flop with 9-7-4, all diamonds? This was limped around
And no
four
one's
ways,
got
and nobody
anything.
bet. Bart on the button with 3-5 offsuit, limped in. Didn't take a shot at it when it got bluffed around. And Mike is going to bet now. He's got third pair, and he's going to bet $70, and
Now,
that should be enough
Bart's
to take it down.
open-ended, but with 3 diamonds on the board.
Nah, it's garbage. And the river's actually the 6 of hearts. He would have gotten there, but can't really take any heat at all.
Right.
Well, there you get another one here. Jonathan Hauser has said Hav will be the big winner with Kenny a close second.
Wow. Now there's a
Carlos will be the loser with Corporation Mike a close second.
Nothing awful's happened yet. Good.
He said here, let's see some fun here. Nothing better than listening to Live at the Bike on a Friday night while I'm trying to qualify for my World Series of Poker seat at the same time. I'm down to the last 46 with more than average chips. Well,
Wow.
Good luck to you, Jonathan. Hope you get it.
Good job.
How many seats are they giving out? Let us know.
That is sweet nickname, though. I love that.
And we got a raise here from Carlos. He makes it $60 to go with King 8.
Let's see what's worth. King 8 is worth $60.
Now, Mo is called with Ace Jack. And Mike has asked Mo if he wants him to re-raise. I think Mo said no, I don't want you to. And Mike's going to re-raise.
So Mike asked Mo. Mo gives him the information, and so Mike acts on that information and raises it up.
And he made it $370 to go. And Mo is going to call this. And we're going to see this 3 ways. This pot is $900. This is crazy. Flop is Ace Queen 5. And both Mo and Mike have the same exact hand. Carlos is in there with nothing.
Actually, Mo has the better hand with the redraw to the.
Yeah, he has the Jack of Hearts. He is free rolling. You're right.
Oh,
And did Mo just move all in?
I think Mo. And he
Yeah,
should
Mo
be
just
able to
moved
take
all
this
in.
down right now.
Mike just bet with Ace Jack, and Mo has moved all in. And I don't think Mike can call. Mike called?
Wow.
That quickly? With Ace Jack? That's unbelievable.
All right.
Wow. Just unbelievable, I got to tell you. The action that Mike gives players sometimes. And this pot is, I want to say this pot is close to what?
Wow.
Well, Mo's got the redraw. Mo is free rolling
Are
here.
they going to run it just one time?
And this pot is about, I'd say
I like-
$4,500.
If I was in
And
Mo's position, I'd run it 3 times here. Hopefully
7 of
hit one
spades
of
on the
three.
river. Nothing's going to happen.
Oh, Mike decided to run it once. Smart.
And they're going
Very
to
smart.
chop the pot up there.
We were wondering earlier. Okay, so I owe him 100.
Got an email here from Mr. B out of Orlando, Florida. He says, hey, Dave, all I can say after watching that last confrontation between Carlos's Kings and Corporation Mike's A7 is why, oh, why can't there be a game like this in my casino? Love the show, man. I got to tell you,
A lot of money.
a lot of times people go to Vegas for a poker holiday. Vegas is not the place to go. L.A. is the poker capital of the world. We get it all here, okay?
Now, Mr. B, you could probably pay for your flight and accommodation. Come down and just sit in this game. If you want to see Carlos bluff away some chips,
No doubt.
show
no
you your
doubt.
hand, and then
You got to realize,
into him.
bad beats happen, though, too. I mean, those same players, they catch the 8 and you lose.
You know, I'll take my chances.
I mean, imagine how slow plays it, right?
Yeah.
And it turns an 8, and then Carlos goes, no deal, forget it.
Wow.
Right?
I mean, and why would you really?
I'm just throwing that out there. What if you think Carlos is bluffing? You go, you know what? I'm going to let him bluff off money.
Right.
I know I got the best hand. I'll let him bluff some money off. It's not a terrible play. Then the 8 comes and you're dead.
Absolutely.
Surprise, surprise, Mike and Carlos are in the hand. Jesus.
Oh, heads up,
I
huh?
don't even know why these guys, the rest of the table is here. Jeez, flop is Queen 5-3 Rainbow. Got an email here from Stephen Lantvid. He says, hey, is Carlos a stroke victim? Brain trauma? Once again, the views expressed by our email viewers are not necessarily ours.
But I wouldn't be surprised if one of those holds true, actually.
Now, Mike actually bet 100. Carlos raised it 300, and Mike called. Pot is now, I mean, this pot is $1,000. Nobody has a pair.
How much was bet on the turn?
Carlos just bet 400.
That's not going to get Mike off this hand.
Mike doesn't have anything.
But the pot is so big.
But what are you calling for? You're going to call 400? I know
Carlos.
the pot is 4. Okay, so the
I
pot
wouldn't
is...
be surprised if he raises here.
Really?
It's a raise or muck situation. What?
Okay, I'm just going to throw something at you. Carlos checked it. Mike bet. Carlos check raised. Mike called.
Okay,
Now,
so he called again.
this pot is $1,800 and nobody has a pair. 4. Nope. 5 of spades. And Carlos is going to bet again, and he is betting $1,100. And Mike can beat nothing.
Wow.
I mean, the board is
This
draw.
would be a call of the week right there.
I mean, the only hand you can beat, I'm going to throw a hand out that you can beat. No, you can't. I was trying to think 6-4. No. Deuce 4. No. I mean, there's no draw out there that didn't get there. What can you beat except just Carlos being Carlos?
And beat Carlos being Carlos, so you can raise this and take it. And he might just do this. Watch.
Now the pot is $2,900, $1,100 to call. $2,900, $1,100 to call. And Mike is really a savvy guy. I mean, I tell you, he's getting information from Carlos just by talking to him.
Well, that 5 really didn't change much, unless he had the 5 anyways. That doesn't change anything. I don't think the deuce changes much.
What can you beat? What do you think? You think Carlos is making this move with absolutely nothing?
I'm not saying you can beat much, but if you raise it, you take it. He's got to lay it down.
Yeah.
And he throws it away. And is Carlos going to show the bluff?
Yeah.
And he does. And he shows the bluff. And Mike.
Wow, what a setup for next hand, huh? I can't wait.
I want to hear this. I got to tell you, though.
And kudos for Carlos. I mean, if you're going to bet,
Bet an amount.
that's a nice amount at the river right
You
there.
can't bet 400 like Kirk.
Right.
If you're going to bluff. You know, the funny thing there is, one thing when you're playing against a guy like Carlos, you got to understand that you have to let him bluff you sometimes. You can't catch him every single time.
Right. Pick a better spot is what you're saying. That's really-
Exactly. I mean, you got ace high there. I mean, even if you have a pair. I mean, what is it? Carlos just had ace jack, like you said.
Sure.
Because I thought Olympians would re-raise. You're not going to look re-raise?
Unbelievable. Live at the bike. 10-20 blinds. I'm David Tuckman here with George Giorgio. Double fist night, and Bart Hansen, our own Bart Hansen, is in seat number 9. He's up about $600 on the night so far.
I mean, queens could very well be good there, though.
Now, in about 30 minutes or so, we're going to see if we can get Corporation Mike in the booth. See if he's interested. I believe Mike made it 80 to go. And we're going to see this 3 ways. Hobbs in there with 6-5. Corporation Mike had actually raised the 7-5. And Carlos had called with King Jack, and nobody's got anything. Hobbs got a gut shot straight try. He can catch a 3 to the nuts. Mike's got absolutely nothing. Mike's going to bet, though. He's going to bet 150 into the pot, and he's going to take it down. You know, and I think Mike is upset with himself. He's saying he should have made that call. And you wonder, you know, his instincts were telling him that he had the best hand.
You can't make a flag call right there. You either push or you muck.
Really?
I'm surprised.
You're going to raise there?
But
What hand can you get to lay down?
Well, if he's bluffing with a better ace, you can get that to lay down.
Okay,
You
or
can-
like a
you could
pair of
probably
deuces,
get
maybe?
anything. What was the flop? It was a queen.
Queen, 5-3, deuce,
You
5.
can't get a queen, but
You can
maybe
get a 3, maybe?
You can get a 3 off for sure.
Or a deuce.
Or a deuce off.
Okay.
But I think that play should have been made if you're going to do that on the turn. But I know what Mike was thinking. He was thinking if Carlos doesn't push on the river, he's going to make a bet and take it down.
Flop is 10-5-4. This was limped around 4 ways. $80 pot. Flop is 10-5-4 rainbow. And Kenny is going to bet this. He's going to bet with his 10. He's got top pair, queen kicker. And Carlos, once again, not paying attention to who is betting here. He's calling Kenny Wynn. Kenny Wynn, one of the most respected players at this table. Carlos is going to check it over to Kenny. Kenny will probably put another bet in there, a little value bet. He bets 240, and he's going to take it down. What do you think Kenny Wynn's game?
I like Kenny. I wish I could see him maybe bluff and show every now and then, but with his reputation, he does take a few pots down by betting. I think it's solid. I mean, I actually think it's a bit too tight, to be honest.
Believe it or not, the funny thing is that Kenny Wynn does bluff once in a while, but he never shows it, and by never showing it, he figures he can do it later on. He wants that kind of Dan Harrington image.
But with the ability to go back and watch the hands, I know that already. So you kind of lose that.
Right,
so you might as well do it for the night and show it. In a game like this, it would be perfect to bluff and show.
Now, Mo's made it $200 to go with pocket jacks. Folds around the Carlos, and once again, it's Carlos and somebody. Carlos and Mike, Carlos and Kenny, Carlos and Hal.
We get jack ace on the flop, see what happens.
Now, the flop's 9, 7, 3 here. Fortunately for Carlos, 8 is not out there. This should go check, bet, fold. But you never know.
Now, Carlos sometimes likes to bet the flop when it's a raggedy flop like that. I've seen him do this, and if he does do this, I'm sure Mo's going to. Here we go.
Now, is Mo's hand strong enough? I don't think it is, but is it strong enough to just smooth call and let him bluff off his chips to you?
Absolutely not.
Yeah.
I mean, he could have 10, 8, 2 diamonds.
He could have ace-9 here, right?
Right.
Could have ace-7. Why not get him to put the money in there? Obviously, if a queen, a king, or an ace were to come out there, a lot of cards that can scare you. And Mo is going to immediately raise this up another $700. Actually, another $1,100. Mo is he is over bet the pot with what he knows is the best hand. And he's going to take it down. Carlos throws it away.
6 right on the turn.
Now, I just want to let everybody know, the brown chips we're playing with, those are $10 chips. The white chips are $100 chips. If you see the green chips, and we can see behind Carlos's hand, he's got some green chips. Those are $1,000 chips. And if you see any big purple chips, those are $5,000 chips. And Barry Woods, the new tight image of Barry Woods, you wonder if, he told me he's been running bad lately, and you wonder if that's kind of, he's going to play it a little tighter today, pull back the reins.
That's good. I mean, notch up a win, even if it's a small win, and go from there. Sometimes that helps the confidence.
Not a bad idea at all. Mike limps in, Hob limps in, Dr. Allen's going to limp in. Hey, how long's seat 9 been gone? If Bart's not going to get back to the game soon, I'm going to replace him.
He only plays pocket aces, apparently.
Ace-9 deuce out there. And everybody's missed. This was limped around 5 ways. Now, Mike's missed, but that never means anything. He's going to bet anyway. And he bets $80 into about a $100 pot. That should be enough to take it down. And he does. Button moves over to Carlos in seat number 3.
How about Jason Terry taking that punch, giving a punch out to the nuts?
And small blind is Barry, big blind is Mo, and Mike is straddling, of course.
40. And man, come on, the wind blows. The wind blows.
And Mo's got pocket aces in the small blinds.
Oh,
in the big blind, I'm sorry. Now, would you ever just complete knowing Mike might raise out of the straddle half the time? Wow, and Carlos has raised it up. Oh, man.
Wow, we got some big hands here.
500.
Now, Carlos has made it 240 to go, and Mo has re-raised it to 500. Now, Carlos is not fooling around. He had a big hand, but that is not a big hand in this case.
Not a big hand, but my prediction is he goes broke here.
Yeah, now Mike has got to throw this away. Now, is Carlos going to move all in, or is he just going to call the base queen?
I think he might move all in, actually.
All in?
Oh, yeah, there we go.
Wow, Carlos has just moved all in for what is $5,000. Obviously, an easy call from Mo.
All right, so Mo.
What a birthday gift. Why don't I get these birthday gifts?
Yeah, what do you want to do?
And how much money does Mo have?
You have a set? You have a bet?
Now, we're going to look at, Mo's got over $3,000. We're going to look at about a $6,400 board run here. And Carlos is in terrible, terrible shape.
And he's even got the queen of.
I mean, this is pretty much the worst you can be because
Oh,
Carlos
horrible.
doesn't even have two. He doesn't even have two flush draws.
Right.
He has one flush draw. Oh, there's a queen.
There's some outs.
Are they running the? They're going to run it 3 times now. 9 of spades, 3 of spades. Not going to do it there.
Okay, so that's Mo's pot. And
Not going to
that's
do it there. Mo's got
pot.
2/3. King, 7. Mo's going to take the entire pot. Mo's going to double through there. That's
Now-
about a $6,400 pot. And Carlos is by far our big loser. Actually, I want to say that nobody else is losing besides Carlos.
You may be right.
I think everybody's up except Carlos.
You may be right. Now, if they get to see that flop anyways, I think Carlos loses his money there anyways with the queen high, with the ace kicker.
Oh, no doubt, no doubt.
So,
If Carlos smooth calls there, the
Right.
flop comes out queen 4 deuce. Mo is going to bet. Carlos is going to move all in.
Absolutely.
Mo is going to call, and nothing's going to change.
without a hesitation, Carlos would have moved along.
No way, Mo. No way he gets away from that.
I would have let it. Hey, I'd have let him keep going. Yeah, how many times did you bet about what?
Really, Ronnie? 30,000? Ronnie's just telling me that Carlos won 30,000 the other night.
Yeah, Wednesday night I told you he won 29,000.
I really
Wednesday
didn't
night
hear
he went on a friggin' rush. I mean,
Really?
unbelievable. He was the one he was getting aces against kings, aces against
Really?
queens. Just went on an incredible rush. But
Sure,
he's
I
probably
mean, that-
given back 10 grand to this already. And the only thing you wonder is, now,
that has a lot to do with his game then. And
he
I
wasn't
think
supposed to be here, by the way. He was supposed to be out with his girlfriend. I got to tell you, man. Karma.
I got to think he wishes he was right now.
Oh, I'm sure.
Either way.
Yeah, the queen hits.
And seat number 2, of course, Mike, is going to make it $80 to go with ace-6 of spades. Kirk is going to call with 10s. Wait, Carlos is not in the hand.
Wow.
Presses. Yeah, amazing.
Full
Bart's not
9-1-1.
going to play. I didn't see Bart's hand there.
Broke or something, man? When did you get so tight?
Wow. There you go. There you
Well,
go.
top set for Kirk here. Actually, he's got top full house. Kirk's got 10s full of 4s. Kirk cannot lose this pot. Actually, he can. I don't know why he says can't. Actually, Mike can catch running aces.
Running aces.
Why would it say that? Tell you, it's the oddest software.
Now, this is a time against full pressure, Mike, that I would just basically smooth call. I mean, you can not lose to anything. Can't lose to anything. And
I mean, you got it. I mean, you know what though? Oh wow, and there's the ace. Is that going to get Mike in trouble here? And Kirk checks it. Oh, I hate that play. I got to tell you, we talk about it all the time.
got to put money in right
You got
there.
to build a pot up. You know what? If Kirk,
Well, he does get paid. I think Mike just bet 400 right there.
yeah, but okay. Let me ask you this though.
300.
Mike checked blind. If Kirk bet when the ace comes off, is there a chance that Mike check raises on the turn?
Absolutely.
Well, there you go.
Absolutely.
You
No, it
get
would-
way
I-
much more money there. Oh. And Kirk's going to mini raise this. And Mike's going to pay him off. And Kirk figures out a way to make the minimum on this hand. I got to tell you, we see it all the time. All the time, people slow playing, not building a pot. If you want to win a big pot, you got to build a
You
big
got to
pot.
absolutely start building the pot, especially because it's a hard out there, and you got to
Yeah.
tell.
I turned the ace, too.
As far as I'm concerned, the flop play was flying. He bets to you, you call. Okay, you got 10s full. He probably has nothing. Let's see what happens. Now he checks blind to you and the ace comes. I'm going to put another $300 bet out.
Sure.
Give him a chance to check raise.
50% to about 75% of the pot would have been
I got to give Mike a chance to make a move on me.
absolutely.
Because Mike
Give
will
him
make
an
a move.
excuse, right?
We see it all the time. People say, well, but a player like Jason Cacciatani or a player like Mike, they might bluff if you give them a chance to bluff. Well, you got to give them a chance to bluff, though. And the only way they can bluff, the only way they can check raise there is if you
Right.
give them a bet. Got a raise here from Hav, actually. Made it 150 to go with queens.
The Queens have been good to Huff tonight.
A couple of ladies.
I'm sorry, I've not been good to him. Last time he had him, he was up against aces.
Well, he's had him 3 times now. He's had him 3 times now. He won once against Kenny Wynn.
That's right. ace
Lost
king.
to Bart, and here he's got queens again. And Bart is going to smooth call with 9s.
I know, I get a lot of hands.
Barry's in there with 8-10 of
I like
clubs.
Barry's hand too. Is Mo in the hand?
No, Mo is not in
Mo's
there.
not
It's
in.
3 ways
Okay.
here. Pot is about $500. Okay, now the board is 7-6 deuce. What is Bart going to do here? He's on the button with 9s. can be a trouble hand. And the worst thing for Bart is his set is no good. If his set comes, Barry's got a straight. And it's a $500 bet from Hav. And I got to tell you, if I'm Bart, I think it's an easy laydown, don't you?
Against Hav, yeah. Now, if that was Carlos,
oh, then it's a different situation.
Totally different
of course.
situation.
But in this case here, you can't beat sevens, you can't beat six, you can't beat tens, jacks, queens, kings, or aces. All you can beat is, say, ace, king, ace, queen. And I mean, I think it's an easy laydown. I really do.
and Bart is assessing the situation.
Yeah, I mean, he's got an
No,
overpair here.
he's a good play. He's going to lay this down pretty quickly.
Yeah, and he does. You got to put yourself in a situation also, the amount of money that Hav has bet there. The pot is now 1,000. If you want to try to take that away,
And there's a pre-flop raise.
you're going to have to make it like 1,500 to go.
Yeah.
That one made it.
Now, if he moves a land or something along those lines, Hav's going to lay that hand down.
Well, that's the thing. The interesting thing is if Bart then makes it 1,500 to go, Hobbs really puts the test.
It is put to the test.
Because obviously Bart could be in there with sevens or
Absolutely.
sixes.
Sevens or sixes, smooth calling, a raise and a call.
Oh, easily. Especially with Barry in there. Bart moves over to seat number 1. Carlos limps in here. Action is over to Bart. And I believe, did Bart limp in? Bart limped in with 8-10 of spades, and Mike is going to raise out of the small blind with ace-9 offsuit. One of the problems, actually, of where Bart is in this situation is oftentimes he wants to play hands in late position. But you have to know that Mike is going to raise probably half the time out of his blinds.
Exactly.
And you know what?
Bart's going to make a loose call here.
He's going to make a loose call. He's in position.
I don't
though.
mind that.
No, I don't mind it either. Well, the flop comes out bad for him. There's top pair for Mike, and you figure he's going to put in a continuation bet. Flop is completely missed Bart, and you imagine this is going to be a bet and a fold. And this is often the problem with playing against Mike is he will raise out of the blinds with anything. You
Right.
have no idea what he has.
Exactly.
And at the same time, it's not a matter of Bart of Mike hitting the hand, because Mike's going to bet no matter what hits, right?
Exactly.
Bart's got to hit. Oh, here, this is perfect. These are the $5,000 chips. Isaac, take a shot of these $5,000 chips. That's a $5,000 chip. Nice purple chip. Thank you. Appreciate it. And these are the $1,000 chips. Well, you see them. There you go. 1,000, 5,000. Thank you. I appreciate that. I got George Giorgio sitting here. He's sitting next to me, the Greek poker guy, with $13,000.
As much as I like being in here, I wish I was out there, though.
I know, man, I know,
A night
I
like
know.
this.
I know you do. Got a raise here from Barry Woods here. Barry Woods has seen enough. He's played it tight for too long. He's finally put in money there with Jack 10. And Mike is going to give him action with King 8 offsuit. I mean, how are you calling? I mean, Mike always amazes me. It's one thing to call raises with, like, 6-5, 8-7.
Right.
But he's calling raises with King 8.
That's a total garbage hand.
I mean, what are you looking to hit there?
I've talked to him about this before, and he's hoping someone's got, like, King, Queen, Ace, Ace, King, and he hits King 8.
Okay.
I mean,
you realize the odds of that?
Yeah, I never hit from that
I
time.
mean, it's funny because Mike's instincts for poker are really great. I mean, he's very good at reading players.
Right.
The problem is with Mike's game is sometimes he often puts in too much money compared to how much money he has in his stack on this really, really speculative hands.
Yeah.
He's calling
Agreed.
off, say, 10% of his stack with, looking for
Agreed.
2 pair.
But that also gets him paid when he has it, though.
Oh, definitely.
So,
That kind of metagame thing.
I look at Barry putting in the bet here with Jack high, and Hoff says, well, he hasn't played a hand all
Yeah.
night, but I don't want to get involved, pocket fives.
I don't mind the laydown at all. I mean, you
I like
probably
that
don't.
play by Barry.
You probably don't put Barry on an ace here, but at the same time,
What can fives beat, really?
you don't put him on an ace, but at the same time, you can easily have 9s, 10s, anything like that.
Right. He could
Barry's
have-
played it tight enough tonight that kind of earns a little bit of respect. I got a little post here from Tom. Says, "Stop hating on Carlos, man. He's the man." I have no. Actually, Carlos is one of the nicest guys.
He
you'll ever
is.
meet.
I gotta say that he is one of the nicest people you ever likely to meet at the casino.
He really. I mean, super nice. The money's like whatever. But, tonight he is just hemorrhaging chips. Pocket 10s for Dr. Allen. He just limps in under the gun. Bart had 9 high, decided not to play. Kirk is just going to
Complete.
yeah, he's going to complete with pocket 8s. And we're going to see this, I want to say, 6 ways. $120 pot. 9, king, 5. Couple of hearts out there. Dr. Allen still with the best hand, but it checks around. Turn is a 7. I want to see that completed anybody. No, that really didn't complete anybody here. Now, Dr. Allen's still with the best hand here, but Kenny's got a gut shot. Dr. Allen's going to bet now. Figuring his 10s are good, he bets 120. And Mike is going to call with 3-5. He's got bottom pair. Guess he's looking for a 5 or a 3 or maybe a heart to represent hearts. Nobody else is going to get involved. And we're going to see this
Maybe a
deliver.
club.
Or a club, exactly. Well, there's a 3. He's made 2 pair.
Wow.
Well, that's, sometimes you can look at that. And Dr. Allen makes it 300. And Dr. Allen makes it. There we go, and Dr. Allen calls. Dr. Allen actually bet 300. Mike raised it up to 700, and Dr. Allen quickly calls.
Because it's Mike.
Yeah, exactly, because it's
That
Mike.
was Harv. It needs to lay down Butts. It needs to lay down Modes.
Now, Mike, I think Mike was calling there, obviously. If he hits a 5, he hits a 3, he's good. Figuring also, if I catch a heart or a club, maybe I can represent.
Absolutely, and he does this time and time again, and sometimes he really has it. So, for me, he's the hardest player to play against.
He's
He
very
really
dangerous.
is.
Well, he's fearless. The money means nothing to him.
Right,
He's
right.
here just to be competitive. And
But he's also a very good player. So,
he
that's
really
a
is.
scary combination.
Obviously he's got some leaks in his game, and he's welcome in any game. I'm playing him because of the action that he
Right.
gives. But at the same time, you've got to realize that he is a danger to take your stack on any given hand.
Absolutely. And
Pocket deuces
today
for
he's
Mo.
bought in for so much he can basically
Well, he can break anybody at the table.
break anyone. Pocket deuce is here for Mo. Suit one.
And we're going to see this 5-way, actually 6 ways, $120 pot. Queen, Jack, 3 on the flop. Nobody's got a queen. Seat number 6, Dr. Allen is going to bet here with the Jack. He's actually got Jack 3. He's got
Where's this rebound going?
bottom 2 pair.
Going over the backboard.
Bottoms.
There you go, Queen, Jack 3. Dr. Allen, overwhelming favorite. And I don't think anybody can call this. Well, what do I know?
There's always Carlos.
Carlos is going to call with 5-3. Now, I got to tell you, if Carlos catches a 5 or a 3, he is going to lose his whole stack.
It's going to be a rebuy situation, folks.
Ace on the turn changes nothing. And if you're Dr. Allen, I think you keep firing, kind of price him in. And he's bet $300 into about a $600 pot, and he takes it down.
I don't know. He's going to top Ronnie Cycling. Where's Cycling from? Great part. Department of Lease.
Supposedly Shauna Hyatt is doing movies now. She was just in a movie called Grandma's Boy. I know. I guess that's the question: is was she naked? Ronnie wanted to know. Inquiring minds want to know.
There's a Playboy special from Shauna Hyatt.
Yeah, it's on the 2+2 board.
Oh,
You've
it's
seen
on
it,
there
haven't
already?
you? Oh, it's like the oldest form.
I went trolling for it on my own, actually. I didn't
Okay.
get that Super Bowl.
They were actually thinking of going soft porn, kind of like late night Cinemax type
Do a
style.
strip poker one night.
I'd love to.
A special edition, weekend edition, and
Yeah.
do a strip poker.
I'm all for it. I've
Put
been
the
pushing
curtains
for it
up
for a
front.
while.
Charge
I'd
for
like to have a
the
different lineup.
That's not more.
And we're going to see it raised from Mike with Jack 4. Hob is going to call with King Jack, and Carlos is going to call with Jack 8. And flop comes out Ace King 10. Hob's got the best hand here. Mike and Carlos both have gut shot straight draws. And if they check it to you and you're on the button with King Jack, and look at Hob, he goes, really? What?
He's like, well, because Mike
What?
usually bets anything resembling.
Exactly. What are you checking?
I'll bet not for you.
And if you're Hob now, they checked it to you twice. I think he's going to go, okay, I'll take it.
100?
And Carlos goes, okay, I'll call.
Oh, it's only 100 for a gut shot.
Well, he's actually picked up a double gutter now. He can catch a 9 as well. A 9 or a queen for the straight. And Mike has re-raised this to 500. Sensing weakness. But I got to tell you,
He set that up. Do you see how
he
how
has,
smart
but Does Mike check a real hand twice, though? Would he check Queen Jack twice? Would he? I mean, I'm curious. You know him pretty well. We've seen him for hours on end. Would he check Queen Jack twice? He'd check it once. Twice?
Queen Jack he may have. That's about the only hand. I got to agree with you. I think you're right here. I don't think he checks it twice.
He's not going to check Ace King twice.
I'm not going to check Ace King.
Because he's got to be
twice.
scared of a Queen or a Jack come off.
Right.
He can't check Queen. I mean, the only hand he can check twice is Queen Jack. But come on, he's got Hob behind him. He's not like he's got like a real aggressive player behind him. There's no. I mean, if Hob didn't have a piece of this, he's just going to keep checking the whole way.
Hob is going to probably lay it down here and find a better spot. Oh, and Hob does
He's
make
going to
the
call
call.
this, though. You know what? His instincts
Great
tell him he's
read.
got the best hand here.
Great read. Let's see if he can.
And Carlos is going to call here.
With a
And
double
Hob's
dot.
got to dodge some cards here. He's got to dodge a king or a 9. I'm sorry, a queen or 9. And there's the queen. And look at that. Both Mike and Carlos had the same hand
Oh,
here.
and Carlos. Oh, I love that check by Carlos, knowing that Mike's going to probably bet into this pot.
Oh, and that is the worst card there. I got to tell you, you wonder though if the 9 would have been a worse card, though, because Carlos would have made the straight, and Hob might not have seen it.
I can understand why you did that.
And now we got a $900 bet here.
And a three-way chop.
Oh, wow. Hob is going to call. Carlos is going to call. Real exciting. Chop it up. Bad beat there.
Hob is going, what are you guys doing?
Yeah. Bad beat for Hob there. Queen on the river chops it up 3 ways. Hey, do you ever notice? Chase Siegel, he's like our local potato, okay?
Okay.
He's the live at the bike potato, okay? He said on this day, in May 19th, every day he gives us what's going on.
Okay.
So on this day, May 19th, in 1957, Bill Lambier was born. 1941, Nora Ephron, novelist, screenwriter, director, Sleepless in Seattle, You've Got Mail.
Sure.
She was
No,
born.
he played 5-3. Yeah, he
Smokey
played
and the
5-3.
Bandit was premiered in 1977, and I'll get to the last one in a second. We got a chip count, $40,000 on the table. Mike's got the table covered with 12.5. Mo up to 55. Barry up to 5,000. Kenny is bringing up the rear with only 2,000. Let's see how they do. Mo's a big winner, up 2,500. Mike also up 2,500.
Hey, look at that. You were right. The only person losing today is Carlos.
That's it. Carlos is funding the entire table.
$8,000. Wow.
I got to tell you, Bart's got to be a little upset. He's got to be thinking, hey, man, I haven't gotten my piece of it.
Well, he's played 3 hands that I've seen. He's mixed it up a little bit.
Yeah, he's up
Hasn't
200
really
for the
gotten-
night.
Yeah, he hasn't really gotten many cards. Only the aces.
And in 1988, the Red Sox retired Bobby Doers, number 1. I don't know what that is about, but okay. Thank you very much, Potato.
I actually remember seeing the premiere of Smokey and the Bandit back in '77. Was that like 5 or 6?
I was going to say, how old are you, man?
35. Next week.
Carlos has moved all in with pocket 8s. And he's going to take it. He's moved all in. Hob limped in. Hob limped in with, like, I actually didn't even see. What did Hob have? He had a suited king. He had king 5 of clubs. He limped in. And Carlos moves all in for $2,400 with pocket 8s. You got to love that. The only thing I will say about Carlos, though, he'll do that with aces and kings also.
Oh, he was.
Once again, we're live at the bike. I'm David Tuckman. Had the privilege and pleasure to be in here with the Greek poker god,
you, Dave.
George Giorgio,
Love to be here.
playing No Limit Hold'em. Blinds are 10 and 20. If you want to interact with us, you can go to the website, go to our email us at live@thebike.com. You can also go to 2plus2.com. Limped around button is actually in seat 7, and we're going to see this. Looks like 4 ways. $80 pot. Flop is 9-9-8. Couple of spades. Now nobody has a 9, but Barry's got an 8, and Kirk is open-ended.
No way that we all got it.
And seat number 8, Barry Woods is going to bet $100. Bart's quickly out. Kirk is going to call.
Now, this would have been a good place where Kirk could have raised and figured out if they've got a 9 and you're drawing slim.
Definitely.
Oh, actually hits the straight.
Well, no, actually, he did not hit a
Oh, no,
straight. Yeah,
no.
he didn't hit a straight. But Barry is now open-ended.
Oh, Barry's open-ended. Okay.
Barry is now open-ended, so Barry could actually catch a 5 or a 10 for the straight. Makes his hand a little bit stronger. Now, Kirk still needs Barry to make 3 pair. He needs Barry 7, or he needs a queen. And Carlos's 10 is no longer good now. Carlos needs an ace and only an ace only.
They were next to each other. I thought it was
And we got a $400 bet out of Barry. Kirk folds, but Carlos is going to call, and Barry's in great shape here.
Send George over to the other side.
And there's the jack of spades, changes nothing.
And there we go.
And
Carlos down.
Barry's reaching for chips. And he's going to bet $500.
Now, generally speaking, I've noticed that when Carlos goes for chips like that, he generally does not have a big hand.
Well,
Hardly
I mean,
ever.
that's a tell from a lot of inexperienced players. Most players that reach for chips, they're reaching for chips to kind of try to scare you
Right,
from
right.
betting. They don't want you to bet, so they're holding their chips going, look, I got my chips. Don't bet.
Exactly. And generally speaking, if you see someone do that, more times than not, if you push hard, they're going to fold even the best hand sometimes.
And look at Barry Woods. I got to tell you, I got to hand it to Barry. We've been on Barry a lot. I really love the guy. I got to tell you. He always plays so many hands. Tonight he's played maybe 2 hands, and I think he's up about 2,000.
Right.
We always pointed out you don't have to play a lot of hands in no limit hold'em to win a lot of money. Barry's the button now. Mike is live straddle, and Kenny Wynn is under the gun.
Yeah, Barry's played a very solid game tonight. Love the way he's played so far. Took down a pot earlier with Jack high, didn't show. Love that. Building back his confidence, building back his table image.
And Mike's going to raise $300 more after a couple of limpers. And that's one of the reasons I got to tell you, having Mike behind me kind of forces me to play good because I don't limp in with crap because I know there's a good chance he's going to raise. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
It's like I don't limp in with
Absolutely.
7-5.
I actually prefer having Mike to my left.
Because it keeps me in check. And Carlos is moving all in here with deuce 7. And Mike might call this. I actually think Mike is going to call this.
I don't think so.
Really?
No.
Carlos is limped in. You think Carlos could do the limp re-raise? Carlos is that sophisticated to do the limp re-raise in late position?
Oh, here we go. I will never talk to Mike. If he's talking to me in a hand, I will play past him.
I call you with king high. King high right now.
And Mike is thinking. I'm giving Mike credit here. I think he puts Carlos on crap. He is really thinking about this.
You suck. When I show you that's when he does stupid shit. Even though I show you the best.
And Carlos has moved all in for 1,600 more.
I can't imagine Mike calling this.
The pot is 2,400, 1,600 to call. You are getting what? About 1.5 to 1 on your money.
If you think you've got a decent chance of hitting it.
I mean, is there a chance you just put yourself on live cards?
Live cards.
Even if you put, let's say you put Carlos on
I mean,
ace jack.
those aren't. I'd rather have 8-9.
Really, against Carlos?
That
Carlos could be doing this pocket sevens.
he could have ace queen. He could have king queen, king jack.
I think he's going to call. You want to make a bet?
Sure.
How much should I bet?
$50.
$50. I say $50 he calls.
You're in.
Yes! I win $50. I love it.
Son of a gun.
I love
Now,
it,
do I
Mike.
wish he loses this hand right now with 7 deuce?
Jack,
there we go.
deuce, oh, wow, and Carlos has outflopped him. But Mike's got a flush draw. Mike is a favorite right now. There's the ace. Mike can catch a king, a 10,
Still a
a queen,
favorite.
or a club. And there's the club. I got to tell you, on the turn, Mike was a huge. I mean, look at a king, a 10, a queen, or a club.
7-2 pair.
And Donna, do me a favor. Let Mike know he just made me $50 for calling.
Now look at that. Look how the river turns out. That money would have gone in anyway. 7 deuce. He's now
Really?
got
I mean,
jacks and sevens.
Do you think he's getting that far, though? Gotta love it.
It's getting there on the flop.
Oh, this is beautiful. Now, Justin has re-asked the prop question, and I got to tell you, I'm not going to be able to answer that tonight. Okay, I apologize. Normally on Wednesdays and Friday nights, the game is too engaging to really get the kind of questions where it's going to take a while to ask. But tune in on Monday or Tuesday, re-ask the question, and I absolutely promise you, I will take the time to answer it. Okay?
Look, wow. I gotta love Mike for making that play, but you cost me $50.
I love it. Button
Wow.
moves over to seat number 1. I love it.
Mikey, do
Thank you
want
very
me
much for
to-
the email, though, Justin. We really do appreciate it.
Do you want me to tell the viewers how bad you suck at table tennis?
Oh, that was classic.
Wow.
Live at the bike.
Well, here you go. Here's 6.
You don't see this on TV, I swear.
Hey, you can show the crowd if you want.
I will in a second. Carlos is playing how much behind? 800 behind. Oh, we're going to organize the money in a second, and then I'll get it out there. Present it.
What you think?
It lips around to Kenny and Mike, and they're going to chop it up.
King 10 of clubs, Carlos.
Wow.
can't have a hand every time. You keep going all over.
No.
And I got to tell you, George's prediction here. The Greek Poker God made a prediction that.
Wow, how come we didn't bet on that
There you
prediction?
go.
How would have won that
50
three times
bucks.
over?
Thank you very much. I do
You're
appreciate
welcome.
that. Thank
You're
you,
welcome.
Mike.
Yeah, Mike, thanks a
Easy
lot.
money.
Thanks
Easy
a lot,
money,
Mike.
I tell you. Oh, by the way, this is just for fun, okay? We don't really do this. I'm going to actually give it back to him later.
Such a liar.
Buttons in seat number 2.
I'm going to hold you to it. Is that
Yeah,
legally
okay.
binding right now?
Hobbs at ace. Hobbs got ace queen. Mike's going to raise on the button with 10-8. Hey, let's hand. Obviously, we kind of overlooked that. Nice call by Mike. I really thought he put
Awesome
him on
call.
nothing.
Awesome call.
You know, and when you're getting 1.5 to 1 in your money, or almost 2 to 1 in your money, you got to start putting your opponent on a range of hands. Now we're going to see this 3 ways. Flop is Jack 8-6, couple of spades. Nobody's got much of anything. Mike's got second pair, and that's enough for him to continuation bet. And he's going to bet.
Are you kidding me? Anything's enough.
He's going to bet 160 into about a $400 pot. I mean, that's a pretty small bet there, but Hobbs going to get rid of it.
Carlito Brigante.
Carlos is going to call with bottom pair.
Carlos has got bottom pairs and a backdoor flush.
Now, Carlos is only rebought for, I want to say, $1,000. Actually, $800. He's short buy here. See if he can kind of have a run of luck here. Well, there's the 6. Easy come, easy go. And, well, there you go. Carlos checked it. Mike moves in for $1,000. Carlos easily calls with his trip 6s. Rivers a deuce of clubs. And Carlos is going to quickly double up now. And certainly Carlos is 1,800.
And everyone but Mike at the table is like, yes!
Of course.
Because now Carlos has 1,800 that he can potentially lose to someone.
If I'm getting a bad beat, I don't mind when Carlos gives me a bad beat because I know the money is still on display. I don't want Kenny to win to get my money. I don't want Bart to get my money.
I agree. Someone who's going to put it out there to be chopped off next time.
Got another great email from Maurice. He says, hey, can you guys talk a little bit about your progression from recreational players to professional players? Did you have any downs along the way? Well, of course, I mean, I've had plenty of downs. I mean, are you a professional poker player now? Would you consider yourself professional?
I mean, I try. I mean, this is the only thing I do, so I guess that doesn't...
So you're either unemployed or you're a professional poker player, one or the other.
Right. I'm not sure which is the better one of the two, but... You know what? If you're going to become a professional player and a no-limit professional player, start at the low limits. You've got to book some solid wins. I would say 9 times out of 10, you should be booking a win, even if it's a small win. And your losses have got to be very small in order to move up. I played for about 8 months.
I saw you a year and a half ago. You were playing the $200 game here.
Yeah, at the 100 and 200, I spent about 8 months and booked some solid wins on a consistent basis, and then started moving up from there.
Mike's going to raise it up with Ace King. Hobbs got Ace Jack. Now it is Mike raising, but Ace Jack is not a hand that Hobbs can get involved with, and I don't mind that fold at all. You got to realize, what are you really looking for? You're out of position against an aggressive player with a hand that can easily be dominated.
Exactly.
Even though Mike is kind of very loose, aggressive, even he gets aces, ace kings sometimes. And you got to realize that. Is Carlos going to call this race?
Absolutely. No doubt about it.
And we're going to see this.
Can I make my $50 back?
No.
At least I'm tall.
No chance.
Ladies like that.
You know what? The best thing
You know what?
is
Look, you would have won it.
160 total.
Do you want me to really go all in?
No, I just want you to call. Let's see it flop.
Oh, look at Mike trying to bait him into going all in. You won't let me?
Carlos is going to call.
I'm just surprised.
Hey, we can do prop bets all night. I made a couple $100 off this. We're going to see this flop. $350 to the flop.
Oh.
Deuce 4-5. What a flop for Carlos.
And that is an all-in flop, Carlos.
Oh, Carlos has got bottom pair, open-ended straight draw. He is way ahead of Mike. Mike's ace is no good here. Mike needs a king and only a king. Or Carlos is 3. I'm sorry.
Carlos is wasting no time here.
Oh, wow. Now, look at this. Mike has bet 300.
He's going to show the 3 or the deuce?
Why are you showing?
Why are you showing that hand?
Oh, God, I got to tell you, what is he
not
thinking?
want to get paid?
He's got to stop showing cards.
Well, you might as well show the other one at this point. Mike, this is just a math problem now for Mike. He's actually thinking that a 3 would be good for him.
Yeah, well, 3 is good for him and a king is good for him, and that's it. He might think, okay, well, he might be thinking an ace is good for me, a king is good for me, and a 3 is good for me, but the ace is no good. An ace will give Carlos a straight. But I don't think you can call this, though. You see a pair. It's an easy laydown now.
Wow.
And the turn is a 3 of hearts.
And that, folks,
hey,
is
Donna,
a sure way.
Do me a favor. Tell Mike the turn would have been a 3.
Got me on tilt, Mike.
I didn't have that many outs.
Yeah.
I see, Mike. I can't wait. Can't wait to see.
It's 6 out.
Tell him, come on. You can tell the whole table. It's okay. Oh.
And now tell me what Carlos's other card was.
There we go. Okay. Button is the seat number 4. That's Kirk. Hobbs the small blind. Dr. Allen the big blind. And
Kirk's got a good hand here with Jack 10. Let's see if he puts in a little bit of a raise on the button.
I imagine that's a smooth call for him. For Kirk. And we're going to see this 5 ways to the flop. $100 pot. 10-7 deuce. Kirk's got top pair. Nobody else has a 10. And I imagine if it goes around to Kirk, he's going to put some money in the pot, and he is. What do you think of Kirk's game? Honestly, we're politically incorrect here. Keep it real. I don't want any bullshit. I mean, you're going to start giving
I do know
correct.
he's a very nice man. I do know he watches the show, but I gotta say that with Kirk's game, I think he is a bit too tight. He does make a move every now and then, but like you saw, I didn't like that move at all.
Okay.
I don't know. Trying to be on a scale of 1 to 5.
Give me on a scale of 1 to 10.
6.
Really?
Yeah.
That good? I mean, if you're going to continue being politically correct.
But you don't think he's worthy of a 6? Have you seen some of the players here that we play against?
I got to tell you.
He is solid in the fact that he plays good hands pre-flop.
I don't see how Kirk can possibly be a long-term winner in this game. I don't think I don't see how his play can possibly translate to wins in the long term. I think he plays it too tight. Unless people are unless he finds games like this with Carlos.
Well, this is what we have. So
on a night-in, night-out basis, you don't always find a game with Carlos in it, though. And players like Jason Cacciatani and Mike are going to give you action, but they're not giving you money.
Right.
They're good players.
Right.
We're going to see this heads up, ace-8 versus 9s. Bart has raised it with 9. Actually, Bart did raise that. Flop is queen 7-5. And look at that, once again, he grabs chips, and then checks it, kind of saying, don't bet, please. Bart's going to bet the pot, $220, and he takes it down with his 9s. Nice bet by Bart.
Nice bet, Bart.
Unfortunately, we can't get any other guest commentators in the booth because nobody wants to leave the game.
Mikey, come on, give me a shot.
Hey, I got some exciting news. Tom Turley has sent us an email. He says, nothing like sitting here drinking a Corona, my wife sleeping on the couch, headphone in the ear listening to you all, and I'm playing on full tilt, counting down the hours to when I sit down in the main event. He just won a seat in the main event of the World Series of Poker on full tilt.
Great job there,
Congratulations, Tom. That's great, man. 69 days, 21 hours, 3 minutes, and 41 seconds until the 2006 World Series of Poker starts.
Nicely done, Tom.
Hey, congratulations, man. That's awesome.
Wait, you hear that? Tall ball fucker. Tall ball fucker.
Now, the only thing that's missing from this game is a Hollywood Russ tonight.
Yeah.
A Hollywood Russ in this game, and I don't know. They're going to have to make this game 10-handed. I've got to have a seat.
We might not have commentary. I might jump in that game, too. Button moves over to seat number 6. That's Dr. Allen, actually. And he's going to raise it up with ace deuce.
Talking about Dr. Allen, where's Professor Allen tonight?
His daughter's actually graduation tonight.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, congratulations there, Allen.
Okay.
Congratulations on what? His daughter's graduation or the fact that he has a daughter?
Bit of both, actually.
Yeah, okay.
I was actually referring to the graduation bit.
And we're going to see a call by Carlos and a call by Bart. Bart is playing a hand, guys. He has pocket 4s. And we're going to see this 3 ways. The pot is about $330. And there's the flop, Queen 10-7. It's actually not a bad flop at all for Carlos. He's open-ended, and he's going to bet it.
I love that bet. Building the pot up. If you're going to win it, you're going to win a bigger one.
Well, it's one of those, it's a great bet here. Obviously, there's a huge amount of fold equity. He's probably going to win it right here. But if he gets called, he can still win the pot if a king, a jack, a 9, or an 8 calls. He also has backdoor flush draws. I mean, Dr. Allen's a
wow,
terrible shot.
look at this. Dr. Allen calls, huh?
He's actually a favorite over Dr. Allen. Well, there's a deuce now. Dr. Allen's got a pair now, and he's going to be a favorite. But Carlos is going to continue betting. It's almost like a little bit of a stop bet here. He's betting. He bets 200 into about a $700 pot, $800 pot, kind of naming his price for the draw.
Oh, I mean, if that's what he wanted to do, that was a good play.
I mean, it's a really good play. It's a play that I'll often do where I'll bet my draw, and then I'm going, okay, the guy called me. Well, what do I want to pay for my draw?
Right.
Here you go. Oftentimes, if I'm going to check and call, and look at that. The fold equity, Dr. Allen throws it away. Nice bet. The river was a king. Carlos would have gotten there. That powered the semi-bluff, though. You don't necessarily need to get there. If you do get called, hey, you still got outs.
Great play there by Carlos. And there you go. He does actually know how to play poker.
Got an email here from Jake M. I actually think Carlos does know how to play. He just obviously, he makes mistakes. And No Limit Hold'em is all about making mistakes. And he just makes
I'm pretty sure that was not meant to be a stuffer bet right there.
No, I know. But at least the fact that he's betting his draw.
Yes, I do like that.
Some people just don't know to even bet their draw.
Right.
Email here from Jake M. He says, hey, Dave, just curious who you like for the NBA playoffs. You like Dallas, huh? Well, I guess, man, it's hip to be Clip. I'm going to go with the Clippers. Cleveland's going to beat Detroit. I think the Clippers are going to go all the way, man.
Well,
I like the Clippers.
I think the Clippers have a great shot here of beating Phoenix.
I tell you, they beat Phoenix, though. They're going to beat Dallas? I think the Clippers are going to beat Dallas. Let's see. The tough game is Monday night, though, against Phoenix. We'll see. Limped around here 5 ways. $100 pot. Flop is King 5 deuce. A couple of diamonds out there. That's a huge flop for Dr. Allen. Dr. Allen has a gut shot wheel draw plus the nut flush draw. It really is a hand that he can push.
Huge hand.
He's got 12 outs. Even if somebody has, say, ace-king, he's got 12 outs. Now, if somebody had king-queen, he's even got more outs because he has the ace of diamonds. Right. He has the ace also as an out. He shows the huge semi-bluff there. And that's the kind of hand, I got to tell you, in No Limit Hold'em, you've got to be willing to really gamble up. And those are the kind of hands I don't mind pushing somebody really to the test.
If I've got a straight draw with a
Detroit
with
won by 2, I guess. I'm just hearing. They beat Cleveland.
I think by 3, yeah. What a great series that's become. Huh?
Oh, man. LeBron is, I swear to God, he is a freak of nature.
He will go down as...
He
might even be the best player of all time if he pulls this one, huh?
Eventually.
He might.
People forget he's 21 years old. Unreal, I swear to God. Barry Woods on the button here, live straddle by Mike. I got to tell you, man, I thought you were only going to be in here for about 20 minutes. I was appreciate you staying in. Feel free to go whenever you want, though. I don't want to keep you in here if you want to go play some poker.
You know, I'll probably, if I was out there, I'd probably be playing the 500 game and crying every hand I won. Because I know how much money's on this table and who the players are.
Now, Carlos did a little mini raise here. And Bart is going to call with pocket 4s. And Corporation Mike has made it 200 more. And if you're Bart, the problem with calling is up. Carlos calls, I think it's an easy call. But if Carlos doesn't call, I think you have to lay it down. Only because you never know what Mike has. Mike doesn't necessarily have pocket aces.
Exactly.
And that's the reason why. And there's the flop, 8-6 deuce, and Mike once again flops top pair with his ace. Not necessarily a bad flop for 4s, but Mike is going to continue. He's going to bet $500, and I like the fact that he's betting his strong hands. And you imagine that Bart is going to fold this now.
Now here's the problem that Bart has. He doesn't really know what Mike has here, and you never will. That's why he's so dangerous.
I have no idea.
He could have 4 high, or he could have.
He could have jack high, he could have ace high, he could have ace queen here. He could have pocket aces here. You really don't know.
Yeah, I really don't like playing in a hand. And plus, when Mike's in the game, you make a lot of money from your small blind, big blind situation where you're calling a hand for no money, just seeing a flop, and you hit a monster flop, right, and you get paid. He won't let you get there. He won't let you see a cheap flop.
No, you've really got to get there on the flop. or be willing to gamble with a big draw.
Right, so if you're playing a hand like 10-8 suited, which I love that hand to play it.
Flop comes out 9-7 deuce. He's not going to give you a free draw.
He's not going to give you a free draw. He might not. He probably won't even let you.
Bart's got jacks.
Oh.
Let's see how this plays out. Bart's got, and he's on the button.
Uh-oh. Carlos might go broke here.
And he makes it 130 to go. Mike's going to give him some action with King 7.
See that? These
Oh,
are the,
wow. Carlos has moved all
There
in.
we go. See,
Hold on. Carlos is moving all in for 2,300. It's 2,100 more.
wow.
And the thing is, Bart knows that he will do this with aces and kings. He watched him on Wednesday night do this with aces and kings. He knows he'll do it with aces and kings, and it really puts Bart to the test.
I know he's trying to set you up, Mike. How much more?
And it's about
I think
2,100
Bart
more.
has got a call here.
If you know
And
what he's
he's
got,
an
it's an easy
absolute-
call, but it's really tough. I mean,
Well, I mean, you've seen him do that with 7 deuce. You've seen him
Yeah.
pulling all in with. Go
yeah, but
do
he
that
just
with
did
ace
it.
queen.
He just did it with 7 deuce. You don't think maybe Carlos is trying to set him up? Well, let's hear what Let's hear what they're going to say. Let's hear the players here. And there you go. Bart has called, and this pot is going to be about a.
And Carlos is in terrible.
I want to say
shape
this
here.
pot's about $4,800, and we got a board run for $4,800. Bart is in big. He's a big favorite here, obviously. Carlos needs an ace and only an ace,
This is 80-20.
or some sort of king, queen, 10.
You want to see the flop and then? Or you want to do the whole board?
And how many times are they going to run it?
All right, just do the flop and then we'll run it, okay? 3 times after the flop? Do the flop.
Yeah, and Bart likes to do this. He hits the flop and then does it. I don't really like to do that because if you hit the ace, then what happens?
You don't run it.
Well, there you go, 8-5-3.
Okay, now go.
Now 3 times.
And they're going to run it 3 times from here. Wow, there's the ace.
Wow.
Well, that's one time.
Re-raising, Carlos, with ace jack.
Deuce. Deuce, no good. 1 for each of them. Queen.
7 of hearts. I turned the stone.
And a 6. And, yeah. Mike is upset because he had King 7 of hearts and actually would have turned the ace of 7, ace of hearts. And you think all the money might
He
have
would
gone
have
in
won 2 out
there.
of 3.
Yeah, Bart won 2 out of 3. So,
I mean, Mike would have won 2 out of 3.
yeah, well, they're not going to run it 3 times, obviously. All the money's going to be in. You wonder, though, if the flop comes out 8-5-3,
Oh, the turn was
Mike might check raise Bart big on the flop with a heart draw,
Sure.
and Bart might move all in. And then when the ace of hearts falls on the turn, who knows? There you go.
the jack of hearts. There's 2 cards of me. You're gonna mark. Plus the fact that there's an ace out here
And
now too.
they're
I don't
talking
have
about the
to flush
exact
on the
scenario
turn.
right now that you just represented.
And the only thing I'll say is, Mike is saying that he goes broke, but I bet you all the money goes in on the flop. I think that all the money goes in right on the flop.
On that flop, and you got jacks? Of course
I
it
think
is.
so. I think all the money goes in on the flop, and I think when the ace all the money goes in, they probably run it 3 times anyway. And then Mike will win it 2 times. So that pot, by the way, Bart takes in $3,000. Carlos takes in about $1,500 of it.
And Carlos may be on pace here to give back the $30,000 he won on Wednesday here.
He's about 1/3 way through, right?
1/3 at half.
Got an email here from Peter Musselman. He says, "Hey, I'm playing Sit and Goes online right now while I'm watching Live at the Bike. I usually play a loose, aggressive game, but now that I'm watching Carlos, I think I'm going to play a little tighter."
Toss me the pot.
That's
Why
what
did you
happened.
overcall Mike with king?
That's what happened when you were
Got a nice email here from Mr. B. He says, "Hey, you guys made my evening by talking to my first email on the webcast. I'm also really enjoying George's commentary also.
Throw Mike a dime so he can Barely is your favorite.
Appreciate that, Mr. B. Thank you.
Hey, Mike.
Just from laying out the full. Yeah, right.
Barry, do you want to move closer down?
Got an email here from
Further away.
Shanizzle. Get to that in a second. Button is in seat number 1. That's Mo.
Like I said,
And is Bart going to raise this? He's got pocket 5s, and he's going to raise this in the cutoff seat. He makes it 120 to go.
His homosexuality makes
And Bart loves doing that on the cutoff seat with any half decent hand, and that's a good play. Usually it takes down the pot, but he even gets full pressure Mike to lay down king high.
Yeah, we talked about the power of positioning. You know, pocket 5s are really a limping in hand in mid position, but when you're in that late spot, you can raise and take it away.
Yeah, I know you got a lot of money today.
Bart takes it down. Email here, okay, from Shanizzle. He says, "Hey, man, I love to play that $80 no-limit game. I was watching Live at the Bike last night, and I saw you guys had it. How do I get in on the action? How do I play? Just come on down. Sign up. Every night, $80 no-limit. It's always here at the Bicycle Casino. If you want to play on Live at the Bike, We probably have it, say, every once in a while we'll have it on a Thursday. But if you just put your name on the board, you can get in on the action.
I have a son.
Thanks for watching. Thanks for the email.
Nobody would ever sleep with you long enough to have a son. His wife's been sleeping with me for like 5 years.
Basically,
What are you talking about?
King Queen for Kirk here in the
I think you're stuck there.
in the big blind. He's just going to call it. Not going to raise. And we're going to see this, 3 ways? Corporation Mike not in the pot. Flop is ace-7-6. Carlos has got the ace. Imagine he's going to put some money in the pot. Now, is Kenny going to get involved against Carlos?
I would think so.
He's got second pair. Mike is not in hand, believe it or not.
And if a 7 hits right now, Carlos goes broke.
Ace-Jack, 7-6 out there. Carlos with the best hand here, but Kenny's going to put some money in the pot.
That's a wrong. Oh,
Alan Meansville, he just doesn't know.
And it's kind of a small pot, $70 bet,
Right.
$70 call. Pot's about $400 now to the river. River's a 4, and that's going to give Carlos 2 pair.
that also makes it straight out there if someone was playing it.
Definitely, but
Doesn't matter to Carlos.
you don't really want to try to represent against Carlos, do you?
No.
Because Carlos isn't paying attention to that.
Right.
He's just looking at his own cards. And Kenny checked it. Carlos bet
Carlos very
$200.
proudly shows his ace
And he
ball.
throws it away, yeah. Got an email here from Richard, and I'm not sure what it means. Maybe you can help me out. It says, hey, guys, entertaining stuff tonight. Again, does the bike follow Los Angeles poker rules, where 4 clubs beat a king? I'm not sure.
I have absolutely no idea what Richard is referring to there.
I'm not sure if it's a joke or not. If
we
it is
miss
a joke,
something
it's
at
over
Live
my
at the
head. I'm sorry. But thanks for the email. Send another email. Let me know what the heck you're talking about. Got an email here from James. We'll get to it in a second. Limped around. Button is in seat number 3.
I get to look at a flop in my big blind. Oh,
So you're sitting in a game like this. I mean, how are you going to play? You're pretty much going to just wait and pick your spots, right? I mean, you can't really mix it up too
It
much.
definitely is going to be player dependent. I'm
Yeah.
not going to mix it up with Harv. I'm not going to mix it up with Barry tonight, Dr. Allen, but I will mix it up with Carlos,
Of course.
with Mike. Mo's playing a tight game. So basically, you're looking to hit a. I mean, right now, everyone knows what's going on. Everyone's trying to get a heads up with Carlos.
Now, Hobbs actually got an ace. He's the only player who's got a pair here. And he checked it from up front. He's got a weak kicker. Can't take much heat at all. But he's going to put a little kind of feeler bet out there. And Carlos is going to call it. Now, Carlos has got a gut shot straight draw. That's it. He needs a deuce. And a deuce only. Mo called this. Mo called with, he picked up a pair. He also has a gut shot straight draw as well. 7 on the river does nothing to it. Hobb checks it. Carlos checks it.
And
Mo's going to take a
bet.
shot at it here. Now, Mo hasn't really gotten out of line
Going
all night
to
long.
represent the clubs. Great bet there by Mo. How much is this pot?
Now, normally with a player behind you, you can't call, but it's Carlos behind you. I don't think Hobbs really thinking of that, but Hobbs not
Right.
going to call. Hobb can't beat much there, can he?
No.
Can't beat 2 pair. Remember, he played his ace-4 kind of slow. Didn't bet the flop. And anybody could be in there with, say, Jack 10.
Jack 10 or the club draw would have called right after Carlos called.
Definitely. Email here from James Inman. He says, love the show. Who gets to decide if the players run it more than once?
That was a
And that's
great
really
question.
that's actually the players. The players get to decide. The players involved in the pot. And if you want to learn more about running it, go to our website. Go to liveatthebike.com. On the left-hand side, you see a little section called As Seen on Live at the Bike. And you'll see all the terminology that Bart and I, in this case George, use over and over again.
Now sometimes, and I've seen this a lot lately, when players are going to run it and they haven't shown their cards yet, they decide, okay, the guy with the best hand, say you've seen the flop, and now you go in. The guy with the best hand will decide whether you want to run it twice or 3 times. And that's usually a...
I mean, in the end, it's got to be a meeting of the minds. Both players
Right.
have to agree. I mean, I was actually all in with Mike the other day, and I had the best hand. And Mike said, you want to run it? And I go, sure. I go, what do you want to run? And I told him, I go, you can run it 3 times. And he goes, how about twice? I go, no. I go,
Yeah.
once or 3 times. I go, that's it. And he goes, okay, once. I go, once it is.
Right.
I didn't want to run it twice.
Generally speaking, if you're ahead, once or 3 times is how you do it.
I just wanted to win some money out of the pot.
Sure.
I wanted to make sure I won some money. I figured I'm
Right.
definitely going to win at least 2 out of 3. Obviously, it doesn't change the odds at all. Doesn't
No, it
change the
doesn't.
expected value at
No, it
all.
doesn't.
But Carlos is going to bet that and take it down.
Proudly showed second pair.
Jared Pondalek once says, "Hey Dave, if you get a chance, can you talk more about your May 17th blog post? He wants some more insights on how to deal with running bad." And I got to tell you, if you go back into my blog, and I started this blog last year during the World Series, I've run bad earlier, so you can probably see it earlier as well. I am going to write a follow-up blog, but it's not up there yet. Carlos has got queens.
And for
Got a big
Jack, you
hand.
could always go see a voodoo doctor. Take that spell off. I've already done that. I've got to say, it did help.
And we're going to see a couple of calls here.
Sacrifice the chicken in the.
Now, Carlos has
got a
raised it
draw.
up 220.
Nah, he's not going to get any action because
Really? You don't think Mike's going to call with Jack 3 of diamonds?
I don't think so.
You want to bet $50?
What happens if he raises? Do I still win?
No, a call or a raise, I win.
Nah, it looks like he's going to raise.
He calling. What are you talking? He's not going to raise this.
He did. He raised it.
No, he didn't.
Oh, it's 110.
220 in there.
220?
Oh, man.
Wow.
I tell you, we do prop bets. I'm going to be up hundreds. 10, 10, 8 out there. And Carlos moves all in. And that's the reason why you play that. You don't mind calling there because you know if you hit your jack, if you hit trip jacks or trip threes or two pair, you are going to win all of Carlos's money.
Absolutely.
The problem is I don't think Carlos is deep enough to make that call.
That's what I was thinking. I thought Mike would have taken a look and seen, what, $1,000? I mean, this $1,000 is not a lot of money in this game, folks.
That's the weakness in Mike's game. He'll call $220 pre-flop to win $1,400.
Right.
You can't call that much with Jack 3 diamonds.
Right.
Now, if Carlos has 10,000, I'm calling him with any two cards. I'm calling him with 7 deuce
any two.
if he has
absolutely.
10,000. Because I'm getting 50 to 1
totally
on my
agree.
money. But when I can only get 7 to 1 on my money, I can't call him with Jack 3 diamonds. I just can't do it. But Mike doesn't look at that. He doesn't look at it at all. Now, Mike has plenty of chips, but Carlos didn't. But Jared, I promise you, I will get to that. I will update the blog over the weekend and talk about it. But if you go back into the Under the Gun, you can go to livetobike.com. I have a blog called Under the Gun with David Tuckman, and you can check it out. I literally started it last May, right at the beginning of the World Series. And I'm almost positive that I talked about running bad. Jack 7-5, couple of hearts out there. No Jack. Kenny's got the best hand with 7-8, but Carlos is going to bet with his 5. He's got backdoor spades as well.
You got to think Kenny right here is like, I haven't seen a cards in a long time. I've got position on Carlos right here. Let me call it, see if I can hit the turn here.
Well, Carlos has now picked up the nut flush draw, and he's going to bet 50.
And only bets 50.
Well, I got to tell you, the funny thing is he might need. Well, Kenny's snuffing out this kind of like little small weak bet, and he is going to make it 250, and Carlos moves all in. Look at this, what a semi-bluff. And Kenny's going to lay it down, I got to tell you. Put that in your pipe and smoke it. Nice poker play by Carlos, huh?
Very nice. I mean, every now and then he shot you.
And the river was a 10 of hearts. He would not have gotten there.
Great play there by
He had a
Carlos.
big draw, obviously. He could catch a 5, a king, or a spade.
Hey, look, we give credit where credit is due. That was a great play.
Really a nice play. Get an email here from Ryan. He says, hey, man, when is Limit Hold'em coming back? And I got to tell you,
With that exciting game?
unfortunately, we are at the whims of our players. You know, without the players, we don't have a game. And sometimes those limit players are really finicky. They don't want to play on Monday nights. But we'll do our best to get it back on Monday night. Can't promise you anything, but we'll see. Got a chip count coming up here. Almost 40, over 43,000 on the table now. Mike's got 13.6, got the table covered. Bo with 6,000. Bart has got up to 3,200. He's up about 700 for the night. How is he only up 700?
We didn't really get paid off when he hit the set. And then,
I mean, I guess he only won 2 out of 3 times against Carlos.
Right, 2 out of 3 times for the Jacks.
Well, according to that, Bart is up $700. I mean, I guess he did pay. He kind of went for those speculative hands a little bit. Look at this Carlos. Once again, Carlos is the only loser of the night. He's down 10,000, and we have 8 winners.
And Kenny must be feeling like a loser too, because
You gotta be. You go,
he
man.
only won 200 in a game like this. You got to think this is a waste of your night.
Going there, Junior. Someone who plays every day.
I mean, I think it's a waste of my night. I've only made 50.
Son of a gun. I gotta get. You gotta give me a chance.
I gave
can
you a
never-
chance.
I can.
I said you could do it
I
there.
saw him. He was going to call anyways.
If you thought he was going to lay it down for a second.
I did think.
Yeah.
I didn't think he was going to lay it down. I just didn't think the odds were there to call.
Nice. Well, they weren't, but Mike calls anyway. Nice email from Jeff Klein. He says, man, Jeff Klein is a one of our longtime followers. He's down in Vegas giving poker a try down there. He's playing the 5-10 no limit with Barry on Wednesday at Bellagio. And he gave him some pointers, being the great player I am. And he see that he's putting him to good use. Obviously, you wonder, what the heck did you say to him, Jeff? Barry hasn't played a hand all night. Mike is razzing him, wondering if he read a book or something. Now, Kenny has raised this up to 180 with ace, queen of clubs. And I got to tell you, if you're Mike, I don't get involved here. Not with Kenny, but he's going to call. He's got a dominated ace-jack
Yeah, has
spades.
Kenny got a lot of money on?
He does, but against Kenny, though, you're not going to get any action anyway. Look at this flop here. Wow. What do I know? Mike just flopped a spade draw.
Well, I did see Kenny try and bluff a huge pot. I think it was against Mikey, and I think that's what they.
Turn is a king of clubs, and now, and look at this. Now Kenny has picked up the flush draw. It went check on the flop. Mike checks. Kenny bets how much? 500 into about a $500 pot. Maybe a $400 pot. And look at Mike. He goes, I should have bet on the flop, and now he's missed his chance. And now what does he do? He probably puts Kenny on ace-king.
And now Kenny's got how much left?
Kenny's only got like, he's got like
So
500 left.
he can't lay down with the money in
Oh,
this
no,
pot.
no, this
There's
is an easy. And Mike is a huge underdog. He's a 3-1 dog here. He's got to catch a spade, an ace, or a jack that is not a club. Or actually, a jack that's not a club.
And Kenny shows him the hand, and Mike is.
And the river was the 6 of diamonds. Ace, queen, high would have won it.
Ace,
And
queen,
Mike
close.
really missed the bet there on the flop.
That really surprised me about Mike.
I was gonna raise you all in.
And that's the thing. Like, see, you see what Mike says there. Mike says, I was going to raise you all in on the flop. The problem is, those Kenny didn't have enough money to get him off the hand.
Yeah.
Let's say Kenny bets 500 on the flop. And now Mike moves all in for 1,000, right? Well, Kenny's almost going, well, the pot is 2,000. I got ace king high. The pot's laying me 3-1. I got to call you at ace
Right.
king high. Mike's an underdog there. He is behind with just spade draw.
Yeah, he definitely missed the bet there on the flop.
He's got to bet that. I mean, he really missed that. He missed up that play, definitely. I mean, you got to look at the chip stacker that Kenny has
Hey,
there.
but,
You
it,
can't-
but he did look at the chip stack after and said, you know what, you only got 500 left. I'll lay it down, even if it's
Right.
just 500. I know 500 isn't much to Mike, but good lay down anyway.
Yeah, no, definitely a good lay down once it happens. But you got to realize though, if a guy only has $1,000, if you plan on check raising him, well then your hand's gonna have to be good enough to hold up. And in that case, Mike only had a draw. King 10, 7, 3 ways. Bart's got ace 9. He chose not to. Well, actually, he's in a small blind. And everybody's gonna check it. Turn is an 8 of hearts. Still, nobody's got much of anything. River's an 8, and Bart's got ace high. Actually,
Bart
Bart's
could have
got
bet the
ace
turn
9.
right there.
And the 9 does not play. Both players have a pair of 8s, king 10 ace. Saying Carlos and Bart are going to chop this up. I mean, you understand what I'm saying there. Obviously, the check raise, the power of the check raise is the fold equity that you have.
Sure.
But if your opponent is already pot committed, well, then suddenly you're just check raising, hoping you have the best hand. And in that case, Mike only had a draw. He had ace high with a spade draw. That was it.
Sure.
And apparently, we're going to say goodbye to the Greek poker god because he's going to
Wow.
play over Mo. I got to tell you.
Mo, I got to kiss you on both cheeks.
Well, man, go get him. Good luck, okay?
Thank you so much.
Awesome, man.
Hey,
Thanks a
guys,
lot for
been
helping us
terrific.
out in the booth. Really a pleasure to have you in here.
Let me see this hand. Ace queen here.
Ace queen for Huff.
Well, let me see my boy take the pot down.
Okay. Well, you know Carlos is probably going to call this with ace 3, right?
Oh, that's a monster hand. He might go all in right here.
Book and Huff call with ace queen high.
He probably would.
And we're going to see
He's
this
waiting for his
pot.
kiss. Mo's waiting for his kiss, he says.
And we're going to see this pot heads up. Pot is $270 to the flop. Ace queen versus
You want
ace.
to see how 3 beats a queen
Let's see.
every time?
Every time?
Oh,
Well, I mean, Hobbs got some outs there. I mean, he can get you 5. I mean, I'm sorry, Carlos got some outs. He gets you 5 or 3 now.
This might be an all-in situation here for Carlos.
150.
Well, Hobbs bet kind of weak. He's bet 150 into about a $300 pot. And Carlos is just going to call. Pot is now going to be about $600.
Now, if a 3 on ace comes off, Carlos is all in.
How about a 5? Well, there's a 10. That's no help. And is Hobbs going to continue betting here? Against most players, you might shut down. Well, he's going to check it. And Carlos is going to take the free card. And there's the queen on the river.
Okay.
That's got to make Hobbs feel a little bit better. And is he going to bet it for value? I think he is.
200, 250?
He bets 150.
Ooh.
It's kind of a little blockish bet in the sense that, you know, if Carlos raises big, you know, maybe you put him on a deuce.
Carlos raises big, he's going to get called.
Probably.
That's what's going to happen right there.
Well, Hobbs takes it down there.
Yeah,
Hobbs
good
wins
job,
about an $800 pot.
Hey, Dave, thanks a
good
lot.
luck,
Appreciate
man.
it.
Good luck. Go win the $50 back I took from you. I'm going to frame it, man, I tell you. I want to thank the Greek Poker God for some great color commentary tonight. Help us out. Once again, we're live at the bike. I'm David Tuckman, playing 10-20. No limit hold'em. I think I'm going to go solo for a couple of minutes here. Keep the action moving there. George comes straight in the booth, right into the game. Button is in seat number 2. Hobbs still stacking his chips up. Bart has got 9-5, the Bart cam there. The good old 9-5, believe in the magic of 9-5.
Raise, make it 60.
Carlos is going to make it $60 to go. And George is going to buy in for $5,000. Playing over Mo.
How about Barry? Is he tightened up or what?
Man, he's playing a good game.
And apparently I couldn't get a close-up of that, Isaac. That would have been classic. We're going to see this heads up, of course. I know, really scary. Mike does that really, really well.
I'm playing 6 on.
Mike called him with a king 5 offsuit here. Both players have missed. Mike's going to check. Actually, Carlos is going to bet right into Mike. Mike's on the button, and he's going to bet. Looks like $200. Actually, 100 only. Kind of a weakish bet, but Mike's got nothing. I don't think Mike's going to pick a better spot. I can't see Mike calling this.
You're going to muck it. You're going to call that.
I got the best hand for sure.
That's good.
You guys do.
Get an email here from Jake, and he says, hey, on a serious note in this wild night, is Carlos trying to win money? He understands trying to give off a loose and crazy image that's set up getting paid on your big hand, but this is just getting ridiculous. And you got to realize that a lot of the players that you see on the show are not professional poker players. They're recreational players that have money. They're here to have a good time, and this is the way he has a good time. I mean, obviously he's trying to win money. I think he has more fun when he's winning. At the same time, he's here to have a good time. And for him, this is having a good time. Now, there are players in this game that are professional, that are really trying to win money. Try to keep that in mind, obviously. It's one of the reasons why I'm not gonna sit here and rip apart Carlos's game like, what is he doing? I can't believe this. He's here to have a good time. You know, and money is all relative in the end of things. You know, if you're a millionaire, you know, if you only make $10,000 a year, playing 3-6 limit is different than obviously if you're a millionaire and you're playing 3-6 limit. So keep that in mind. Bart with an ace-7 suited here. He's going to limp in. And it limps around. I think the action's on to Kenny. Actually, I'm sorry, the action's on to George. George got a king-jack suited, and he's going to make it 150 to go in the cutoff seat. Mike's going to call with a 7-9.
Excuse me, how much is it?
150.
And I'm not sure if Bart is going to get involved with an ace-7 suited, but now that Carlos gets involved, a lot of money in that pot. Pot's $490. That's going to probably bring Barry in with a suited ace. Barry's got ace-4 suited. And Barry's going to call as well, but Bart is not going to call, even with all those callers. Pot has got about $620 in there. We're going to see it 4 ways. And there's the flop, 10-6-4. And there are 2 clubs out there. Pretty good flop for George, and you imagine he's going to continuation bet. But wow, Carlos is going to bet his pair fours. And if you're Barry, you might call it heads up against Carlos, but you're certainly not going to call it two players behind you. Nice laydown by Barry, pretty easy, obviously.
I like that move. Love that move.
Carlos bets 180 into a $600 pot, and I got to tell you, if I'm George, I'm raising him right here and now.
Richard Allen's
In his sleep?
Lou Diamond Phillips, is that his name?
Richard Allen's down.
Richard Valens. If Richard Valens comes here, it's not the human
You guys
Thor.
paid attention to the movie, you know.
Now, some people might be thinking that George has got some insight into Carlos tonight, but I think everybody's got insight into Carlos tonight, don't they? They've all been playing with him. And I think he's going to raise, and I think this is a clear-cut, easy raise here. He's got overcards with the flush draw. Even if Carlos had a 10, you are a favorite. As long as Carlos doesn't have, say, Jack 10 or King 10. If your overcards are good and your flush draw, George has got a lot of outs here. And you can see here, George is about a 55-45 favorite. Plus, he's got the fold equity.
He's got to put your ass out on that. It's on my side now.
And George has made it $600 more to go. And he's going to take it down. Nice bet there. And George immediately makes his $50 back.
I've already had it. We've worn out.
You can go with him all in.
This picture's like this, man. That's it.
Got a nice email here from Neil Willis. It says, hey, can I rent Carlos for my home game?
I had a pair already.
What the hell's it called? Hey, Barry?
I had a pair.
You can't rent Carlos, but we might be selling Carlos bobblehead dolls on liveatthebike.com. Check it out. You actually can buy T-shirts and a hat, our Live to Bike apparel, over at our website. Check it out. You can also subscribe to the archives. We have a lot of crazy games just like this
Looking for you.
throughout. I mean, we started Live to Bike last February. We've got over 15 months now of live cash game action. For $14.95, you get it all. You get Barry Greenstein, you get Kenneth James, you get Kathy Liebert, you get Greg Raymer. You name it, they've been on the show. And you get it all for just $14.95. All you got to do is go to liveatthebike.com and click on the archive banner. And it's a straddle pot.
Family pot.
Hobbs says family pot, kind of hoping that Carlos doesn't raise. And we're going to see this 6 ways, $240 pot to the flop. King 5-4. Kirk's flop top pair. Now Hobbs got the old deuce 3. He's open-ended, bottom end, but with 2 hearts out there. Does he want to get involved? Kenny's got the heart draw, but Mike is going to bet it, and he's got nothing. He's got a gut shot straight draw. 6 comes. Hobbs would make a straight, and Mike would make a higher straight. Now, what is Kenny going to do? He's bet 180 into a $240 pot, and Kenny is going to make it 600 to go, and that really puts the test to Kirk here. Kirk's got king, queen, but this is a limped around pot. And you know what Mom always says, don't go broke in a limp pot. Hobbs is going to get rid of a straight draw, and I think this is going to work. Actually, I know this is going to work. Kenny's going to take this down. Nice semi-bluff by Kenny. Type of play you can make when you have that image.
You don't want to see six.
My mom's real sharp. Sharp as a tack.
Yeah, same hand as me.
I got you at 7-8. 6 hit first or on the river? Turn on the return.
Here, Ronnie was asking me, who would win heads up, Carlos versus Adam? I don't know, man. That would be fun.
Hit too hard.
Speaking of heads up, I'm actually getting a rematch with Alan. Alan and I are going to do I think we're doing a best of 5 heads up series on Monday. We're going to do it $1,000 a piece. Heads up, me versus Alan. Unfortunately, I don't think it's going to be for the Live at the Bike audience. Unless
What is that? What is Queen or 6?
Evelyn wants to make that for the Live at the Bike audience. We'll see. I don't think so. But I'll write about it in my blog. Mo is actually backing me in that. So it should be fun. I think we're actually going to play it instead of playing it with normally $1,000 chips. Which, I mean, when you play with less chips, luck kind of goes into it a little bit more. Last time we played it, we played 5-10 blinds with $500. And it was really like 2 hands, it was over. But I think we're actually going to play it for $1,000, but we're each going to buy in for $2,500 in chips. So there'll be a lot of play. We're going to play 5-10 blinds, $2,500. Me versus, that's Alan. Should be a lot of fun on Monday. Probably play it before and after the show on Monday night. And Carlos is going to raise it up here with Queen 9. And Barry's going to call him with 9-10 of spades. kind of stepping out of the box here. He's going to see it heads up here. He has position. Pot is about $600. Queen 9 versus 9-10. And the flop is ace deuce 3. Both players miss. Carlos is ahead, and it goes check, check. Turn is an ace, and Barry cannot check this down with 10 high. He's going to have to take a shot at it if he wants to win this pot. And the river is a deuce. And both players have aces and deuces, but Carlos has got a queen high kicker, and he's going to win this. I'm amazed. Barry never decided to take a shot at it. Barry a little gun shy. Sometimes, you know, it's funny. We talk about running bad. Sometimes when you run bad, a lot of things can happen. And I always say you kind of got to re-examine why you're running bad. Are you running bad because you're getting a lot of bad beats? Are you running bad because suddenly you've lost a few sessions in a row and you're now not nearly as aggressive as you normally are? Or are you overly aggressive because you're trying to win it all back in one hand? A lot of different things. I mean, I think the best thing you can do is really examine your game when you're running bad and be honest with yourself. I know I can honestly look at when I'm running bad, yeah, I'm getting some bad beats, yeah, I'm getting some bad luck set over set, but I think when it comes down to it, oftentimes, I'm making some mistakes also. Now, Bart has made his customary raise. He's made it $130 to go. He's ace-king under the gun. Ace-king offsuit. And Mike's going to call with Jack-10. And Mike said, he goes, I'm sure you have a better hand than me right now. And I think that's a pretty good guess. He's raising under the gun. He can probably beat Jack-high. And Carlos is going to call also, and this pot is quickly 3 ways. Pot is about $510. All spades out there, and Mike's got the only spade. Bart still has the best hand, but Mike has the only spade, and Bart just checks it. And I'm assuming he's just checking and folding. He's just going to give up on this. Now, Mike makes it 200. Carlos check raises it to 500, and this pot is quickly $1,500. Turn is a 4. By the way, Bart's hand still would have been good, but he threw it away, decided not to get involved without a spade in his hand. And Carlos is moving all in with absolutely nothing. He has nothing. He has a red Jack-7, specifically hearts. But can Mike call him with Jack-10 with the 10 of spades? I got to tell you, I don't think Mike calls here. I just don't think he can call this with a Jack-high. I mean, with an ace-high, maybe. With a Jack-high, I don't think he can call. The river was a 10, and Mike would have won the hand. He actually didn't even need to hit it, though. All he needed was... I mean, what did Carlos have? Carlos basically needed a 7. Yeah, Carlos needed a 7 that wasn't a spade. I mean, Carlos is almost drawing dead.
That's a bad way to
I have one of the 7.
Pick on it 2 out, right?
I have one of the 7.
And you can't really blame Bart. I mean, sometimes when you raise it with ace-king and you get called in a couple spots, flop comes out 6-4 deuce all spades, and you have an ace-king, no spade in your hand. Sometimes you just kind of go, you know what? I'm not going to get involved here. Bart probably figured he probably would have to bet about $600 into it. Can't take any heat at all, and just decides to throw it away. The only question, though, is Bart is raising under the gun. And just to play a little devil's advocate on Bart's play there, he's raising under the gun. Can he represent pocket queens, pocket kings, or pocket aces? Very easily.
No, you had Jack-7. I had a better hand. You had Jack-10.
Man, we got a ton of emails in tonight. I really appreciate everybody keeping the show interactive. Button is in Carlos's spot, shooting for 7.
See what you did on the turn.
Okay, we got 4 players in the pot.
And Bart is in the hand, King 9. Offsuit. Jack 7-10.
Yeah, there's my
Bart's got a gut shot straight draw.
That one was the last one.
That flop, I stick to you, huh?
Fuck it up.
Actually, I want to say Bart's got a double gutter. An 8 or a queen would give Bart the straight, and he sees it. I think he just nodded his. I think he nodded his. I think he heard me. And he calls. An 8 would give him the straight. A queen would give him the straight.
I call.
How much?
Now Barry bet straight into the pot. He had queen 10, second pair. He bet.
Wow. Are you kidding me?
He bet $60
I had his cards. Give me his cards and I'll call.
and called in 3 spots, 2 spots actually. Pot is about $300. Turn is a 4 of hearts, changes nothing. And is Barry going to continue here?
30.
And he bets $240 into the pot. And can Bart take one off here? There's 2 hearts out there. Probably not scared of Carlos behind him. And he's going to call this, figuring if he hits his hand, maybe he can win a lot of money. And you know what? If a queen comes off, giving Barry 2 pair, he might win a big pot. And he's going to call this. This pot is now, I want to say, about $750. And the river's an ace. And can Bart represent anything? He's missed completely. Barry really doesn't have much, I got to tell you. Can Bart represent king-queen? I mean, is that maybe a hand that he's been representing the whole time, a straight draw? I mean, that is a draw. And Barry's going to put kind of a little defensive bet out there. Well, actually, not that defensive. He puts $600 out there. And you got to say, you know, it's funny. I think Bart was thinking about making a move here. But Barry's really put him in a spot where if he's going to make a move, he's almost got to bet $1,800 or $2,000. And does Bart really want to risk that in a bluff? Does he have the balls? Does he have the heart to make that big a raise? Because that's the kind of raise he's going to have to make. He can't just make it $1,200. And if he makes a raise here, Barry really can't beat anything. I got to tell you, if Barry makes it 200 or 300 there, I have no doubt Bart is going to raise it up. That's what he's thinking. He's trying to represent king-queen here. Just trying to think, do I have enough to make this work? Can I represent? And you know what? He thinks better, but he throws it away. And I got to tell you, I don't mind the laydown at all. Obviously, if he knows what Barry has, it's a lot easier in the booth. If you know Barry has a 10 there and only a 10, it's an easy raise. But let's say Barry's got a jack. Let's say Barry's got queen jack, okay? We always talk about it. Barry's not the player you want to be bluffing, okay?
We're playing in Newport.
You're not going to make a living bluffing Barry. Where you're going to make a living is making your hands and then betting. You know, players like Allen. I don't mind the laydown at all. I just think it was a huge risk by Bart. I mean, he almost had to move all in or raise it up to, say, $1,800 or $2,000 to get Barry off that hand. Figured it wasn't worth it. Well, now Barry has the hand that Bart was going to try to think of representing here. He's got king-queen, and he's just going to limp in on a button. It's normally a raising hand for Barry, but he is really playing it different tonight, isn't he? It's a new Barry Woods. And I got to tell you, it's not a bad idea to change gears every once in a while. He's really changed it up tonight. And Mike is not going to raise it out of the blinds. And we're going to see this 4 ways, $160 pot. Flop is 7-6 deuce. Mike's got a pair of sixes, and he's going to bet. $110. Actually, it's $90, I'm sorry. $90 into about a $160 pot. And that'll probably be enough to take it down. And that's a hand that Barry normally would get himself in trouble if he'd take one off with king-queen. And it's an easy laydown. If you're going to play king-queen slow like that, well, don't get involved. Throw it away when the flop comes out like that. Now you got Bernie Makatange says, too tight. He says, Dave, you and the poker god are doing a great job tonight. Thanks a lot. We do appreciate it. Just wondering what your definition of being too tight is. I play a tight game. I just want to play too tight. I don't want to play too tight. Thanks. Well, I mean, I think you play too tight if... Well, it all depends on the game you're playing in. If you're never getting action on any of your big hands, well, then you're probably playing it a little bit too tight. You've got to realize that if you're only raising with big hands and stuff like that, you're probably giving away some EV, some positive expected value, by not playing some other hands. Playing too tight, it really depends on the players you're playing with, though. I mean, if the players you're playing with aren't paying attention to how tight you are, well, then it doesn't make a difference, because if they're going to pay you off anyway, who cares?
Okay, we got 2 players on top.
Heads up here, raised pot, about a $200 pot. 8-4 deuce. Mike and Carlos.
Just one out of Carlos.
And Mike bets 100. Carlos goes, okay, I call. 100, why not? I got a gut shot. And now Mike's going to bet 300. And Carlos is going to call 300 with a gut shot. He's a gut shot, folks, not a double gutter, just a gut shot. Doesn't get there. He needed a 5 and only a 5.
I ain't got shit. I had a flush draw.
Jack high is going to win. Actually, well, a pair of 10s is going to win this. But oh wow, I actually thought Carlos checked it.
Let's make it 800.
And Mike's going to raise it.
Oh my God! Bend over and spread them, Mike. Unbelievable. If you got trip age, you got it, man.
This is a man, and Mike is going to call, I think.
You got it. You got it.
No. Now the action was,
Fucking river?
Just a matter of time. Send the money.
did Carlos move all in?
You in the river?
Carlos did.
Right there, just
Carlos did not move all in.
Well, when you play like a donkey, you get lost. Nice.
Now Carlos did not move all in.
like that on purpose.
Carlos did move all in. He did. Wow, we're getting the action right. Players of the booth, I was going wrong. This is the action went there. Mike checked on the river because he didn't need to bet, obviously. He was bluffing the whole way, but then he got there. So he goes, okay, I don't need to bet my 10. Carlos bluffed that at 400. Mike made it 800 to go. Carlos went all in with nothing. And Mike said, you know what, if you got an 8, you got me. I'm calling.
We know no woman would.
And he calls, and he doubles up there. And that was about a $4,000 pot out of nothing. $4,000.
I want to have a baby of yours now.
No, I first. What?
Once again, we always try to get these players to actually move their chips in and not verbally say all in.
Clear one.
Unfortunately, we do miss the action a little bit when we're doing that. What action there?
They say that,
Mike checks, Carlos bets, Mike raises, and Carlos moves all in, and Mike calls with just a pair of 10s and a jack kicker.
120.
Now, Bart's made it 120 to go with 7-6 offsuit. He loves to do that in the cutoff seat. George knows that, and George is going to call with King Jack. Mike's going to call with King Jack.
come on, give me some info. I'll sit there and be quiet.
And
Oh, Kenny.
Kenny's going to re-raise this with Ace King. He goes, you know what? You're all full of shit. I'm taking this pot right now and then. And he makes it 700 more to go.
Come on, George. You know you were just calling because you thought I was raising shit.
And look, that's what George said. Look at Bart says, you were only calling because you thought I was raising with crap. And George is going to lay it down. And you know, Mike's going to lay this down as well, I imagine. Mike's got a King Jack spades. I don't think he's going to get involved. No, he's not. And Kenny Wynn, his tight image, earns himself about $360 there. We had a $120 bet there by Bart. A call by George, a call by Mike, and Kenny steals it all.
Time's up.
I thought you said you saw 2 aces.
I thought I saw a black ace.
Oh, okay.
It's Carlos.
That whole 4 clubs and the king thing, that was a Rodney King reference. Okay, there you go. I didn't get it, sorry.
Huh?
Rodney King, man, that's like that's really old school. I wasn't even in LA then.
When you accidentally flipped the card up, I thought it was a black ace.
Raise to 100.
Get an email here from John Abare. He says, hey, what is the value of any showing all your hands to your opponents? You know, I got to tell you, very little value. I mean, I guess you could play the whole psychological game, psychological warfare once in a while. If you think showing a bluff will get you paid off later, or if you think showing the nuts will be able to make you can maybe bluff later on. Oftentimes, I'd rather not show my cards. And unfortunately, we're going to say goodnight to Carlos. I think he lost about $13,000 tonight. Once again, the entire table is up, except Carlos.
I was pooping on that.
Button moves over to seat number 3.
If you're gonna, you gotta say you were shitting on that guy. 'Cause that's not very. Come asking for something.
He was talking table tennis.
You were, then I was. You set him up for it.
They play with like wooden boards for paddles. It's like,
I'd rather have had wooden board.
Mike makes it $80 to go pre-flop, and Barry's going to call.
let's go. Me and
Barry makes his his first real loose call of the night with King 6 of spades. And he outflops. Oh, wow. No, he doesn't actually outflop. Both players hit their kickers. Oh, no. Oh, my God. I can't believe it. A turn is a king. The turn is a king.
Raise 500.
5 more.
The turn is a king, and I got to tell you, Barry has picked the wrong time to finally loosen up his game. He hits 2 pair in the river on the turn, and he is really in bad shape here.
Donkeyness is coming out.
Oh, my. I cannot believe this for Barry. He needs a 6 and only a 6 on the river to save him. He is in terrible shape. He made it 200. And there's the ace. Now, Barry's checked, and what is the pot is about $1,300. Time to value bet here.
Send the flop.
What? Oh my God, I can't believe it. And look at Bart. Bart even says, wow. You realize how much money? I really think Mike could have made all of Barry's stack there. I mean, the ace is definitely an action killer. I mean, you put somebody in ace-king, but I got to tell you, with Mike, you can't really put him in that hand. I can't believe it. Barry really dodged a bullet there. The first time Barry actually...
That's right, 2 pairs of bad hand. I wasn't questioning the callability of Barry.
The first time Barry actually kind of makes a loose call, ends up getting 2 pair against Mike, and he really dodges a bullet there. He only loses about $600 on the pot easily. I mean, I'm telling you, easily he could have lost $2,000 or $3,000. He might have gone to felt.
100.
These are the warm chips.
Well, there we go. Look at that. 41,000 on the table. Mike's got 14. George with 6. Carlos is to felt. Let's see how they're doing. And they're all up except Carlos. Carlos has lost $11,600. Now, keep in mind, Carlos won 29 on Wednesday. And you've got to realize that if you ever find somebody who's winning 29 tonight, his swings are going to be huge. Mike is our big winner. He's up 4,000. And George is going to take seat 7, and Mo will probably come back in the game.
Nice answer.
You know, it's funny. I mean, Barry finally picks a time to kind of mix it up, so he calls it King 6 of spades. That's not the hand I'm going to mix it up with. If I'm going to call and kind of mix it up, I might be mixing it up with, say, 6-5, 6-4, 8-6.
Carlos ain't coming back.
I mean, Barry's got to realize, I mean, he saw it already earlier in the night.
Is this yours, right?
He really dodged the bullet there. He got lucky. He easily could have lost a lot of money. I wonder if he gets away from it if Mike moves all in.
He bought at 10,000. He asked me to buy at 10,000. Spread it out. They're only up a little
Yeah, here it is. Tuck, it was an attempt to make a Rodney King joke. My bad. No, man, it's not your bad. My bad. Thanks for the email, Rich.
60. I had a friend. I have a friend.
Got an email here from Will Sanders. Says, hey, man, do you ever broadcast any non-Hold'em games? Maybe a split pot game, something like that, an Omaha game? And unfortunately, right now, our windows don't really play well to that. We also manually put in the cards, so you can imagine how hard it would play, say, an Omaha game. But we are working on it, and maybe in the future we will have, say, an Omaha high game, Omaha high-low game.
Check it all the way. Hi, Jen. How are you? It looks like he's only...
Hey! What are you trying to do? Trying to make some money. You should give it out everybody your money.
We got 10s versus 8s here. The pot is about $800 to the flop. And they've actually showed it. I think they've agreed to check it down. And the 10s are going to take it down. George wins himself an $800 pot.
Oh, barely.
King 7 hearts hit. We're gone.
I don't know what's that.
Got a nice email from Jeff talking about a normal starting bankroll for this game. What would be a goal each time I play? Generally assuming a 5-hour time frame. And once again, I hate to say this, but it depends. It kind of depends. You know, are you a professional poker player? Do you have a mortgage? Do you have 3 kids to survive, to feed? I don't know your specific situation, so it's obviously difficult for me to tell you what your bankroll should be. In terms of what would be a good goal each time I play, if you have a 5-hour time frame. Once again, it's also, if you're playing a limit game, maybe say a big bet. If you're playing 10-20 limit, maybe $20 an hour is obviously a pretty good hourly rate there. But once again, obviously, it depends on how you play. Do you really play it too aggressive? Do you play it a little closer to the vest? So forth. Thank you for the email, Jeff. We're going to see this 4 ways linked around. Actually, 3 ways. 6, 6, 8. Mike's got the best hand with 7s here.
100. 300.
Now, Mike has bet with 7s, and Dr. Allen has actually raised it to $300 with Ace-Jack. And I think Mike's going to call this. And the problem is, you might not put your opponent on a 6, but you can't beat an 8. And I can tell you, normally I throw away my 7s there. I don't normally put a player on 6 right away because most players don't raise right away. Mike's going to call the whole way, though. Look at this. And a 4 on the river, and Mike checks it. And I got to tell you, if I have an 8 here, I am definitely betting for value. No doubt in my mind. And they both check it, I think. And 7s are going to win it. And Mike takes down about I want to say about a $1,500 pot. Nice pot there for Mike. And Mike is definitely our big winner tonight. Up over 4,000. Nice email here from Doug out of Cleveland, Ohio, saying how he recently played at Turning Stone in New York, and that's actually, I'm from upstate New York, and Bart went to Syracuse, so both of us have been there. Ace King for Barry. And he is in the small blind. Now it's a $40 straddle pot here, I believe, right? And Hob is limped in. And Barry has not raised this. And we're going to see this 4 ways. Jack 9-6. Hob has made top pair. And Hob is going to check it. Well, I'm sorry, it's not even going to get the Hob. Bart is going to bet it. Now, Bart's got overcards with the gut shot. And he's going to make it 150 to go. He bets about the pot. Pot was 160. And you imagine, is Hob going to take one off here with Jack 10? Remember, Bart could have anything. He's in the big blind. Bart could be betting 7-8. He could be betting Queen 10. He could have 2 pair already. That's the one thing with Bart's game is he'll bet his big hands. He'll also bet his draws. Wow. Mike is raising him. $440. He thinks Bart is weak. And he is going to put Bart to the test, but before he gets to Bart, he's going to put Hob to the test. I don't think Hob can call this, though, with Jack. You got the players you got behind you still, and he's going to throw it away. And at this point, I mean, Barry's got ace-king. It's an easy laydown for Barry. If you're going to play ace-king slow and a flop comes out like this, you just got to get away from it. And I can't imagine Bart calling this now. He's got a gut shot with overcards, and it is Mike, but, I mean, can you call $300 with a gut shot? Bart thinking of re-raising him. Nah, he's not going to get involved. He throws it away, and Mike shows him the 6-8. You know what?
Did you bet with Queen 10, yeah? Or so you bet draw? No, I thought you bet with a draw. I'm saying the fact that I read that.
You're good, Mike.
And
Say one Mike, everybody. Come on. The whole room, everybody.
Rattle.
that's classic. Only at Live at the Bike.
Scary thing is, Mike is the only person who gets
Rock hard.
That was pretty funny. Barry, that might be the funniest thing you've ever done. Just saying, I sniffed it out. I mean, come on, somebody come over here and pat me on the back.
That's great. I pressed the cough button. I pressed the wrong cough button. Sorry, guys. We actually have cough buttons, and I pressed mine, but I'm using Bart's mic tonight.
You have a Wednesday?
Heads up,
There you
Mike.
go. What a genius I am. Now, is Kirk not in there with ace-jack of clubs? Kirk laid down ace-jack of clubs in middle position. I mean, I just don't understand. Well, whatever. I'm not even going to get into it.
400.
I mean, that's the kind of hand that does play well multi-way. The ace-jack part's garbage, but you have a nut flush draw possibility.
You'll just keep calling and you'll draw to your thing.
I don't really understand it. And if you're, I mean, I guess you're only going to play aces or kings, but in that case, if anybody at the table is paying attention, they'll never give you action.
Next time will be a raise. Check.
Barry's got trip 4s now. And he's going to bet $400. And is Mike going to make a move? And I like the bet. I really do. You want to give somebody like Mike a chance to make a move on you.
Should we have another round of applause for you? After the end, Well, I may be out of money, but I'll delete so you won't get the
Mike's going to try to put Barry on a hand. If he gets it right, we'll all clap for him again. I think Mike lays this down. But, no, he's going to make a move here. He's going to call him. And he is drawing. Well, that wasn't it there. He actually could have got a 5 for the straight. And he's going to make a move at the pot there. Is he going to make a move to the pot here? I mean, you wonder if he was just calling there to make a move, or was he calling to actually just hit his 5? board is paired, though, now. Mike knows it's tough to bluff out Barry, though. And he checks to Barry, and Barry is going to bet $1,100. And can Mike call with ace high? Now, Mike's got 4s and 3s with an ace high. Mike makes tough calls here. And he said, can I call for a chop? Now, I'm not going to get involved. He throws it away. Good lay down by Mike here. Email here from Doug. He talks about how he went to Turning Stone, and he said all the tables were so tight, there was no action at all. And we always talk about one of the reasons why Bart and I stopped propping, actually, is because game selection is really half beating the game. You've got to pick a good game. And do I want to play against 8 really tight players, or 8 really good players, say, or would I rather play against a guy like Carlos? I mean, you've got to realize you can be the best player in the world, or you can be a really great player, and if you're playing against players like Hav, you know, players like Mo, I don't know how much you're going to beat him for. But at the same time, you can be an average player but playing games with Carlos and actually make a lot of money. Game selection is absolutely huge. Thanks to the email, Doug. Out of Cleveland, Ohio, you got to be going crazy, man. LeBron crazy, that is. And we saw a little small raise from Dr. Allen there. He made it $100 to go. We got called by Mike. Heads up here. And it's all clubs. Jack 9-5. And Mike's going to check. Dr. Allen's going to bet. That's $150 into about a $210 pot. And Mike's going to check raise him. Makes it $400 to go. Dr. Allen's got nothing here. He's got the best hand, and he's an overwhelming favorite over Mike. But how does he know that? But he calls. Pot is now $800 to the turn. 5 of diamonds. Doesn't change anything. Check, check. Turn is on the river is a 4 spades. And Mike's going to put out a $800 bet into about an $800 pot. Really, really puts Dr. Allen to the test here. Dr. Allen has the best hand here, but what can he beat? I mean, the only thing he can beat is, say, ace of clubs. Let's say Mike had the ace of clubs in his hand with nothing. He might make that play with the ace of clubs. And Dr. Allen throws it away, and Mike earns himself a pot. Nice bet by Mike. Got an email here from Luke. Said, hey, Dave, I got to tell you, man, I want to be honest. Last night was pretty bad. It was one of the first nights that I actually signed off from watching because it just wasn't entertaining to watch. Sorry to hear that, Luke. Obviously, we try to have a show for everybody. Not everybody plays, obviously, up to these limits. And, I mean, I like to think that you can really get something out of almost any game we have, whether it be a $200 game, an $80 game, or our big games like this game or Wednesday's game. Got about 7 or 8 minutes left in tonight's show.
3 players.
And Mo actually put a little raise in there on the button with ace-3. Mike called and Barry called, and Mike has flopped trip 10s. And he's checked it to Mo. And Mike's going to probably check raise here. Yeah. Mike checked. He just checked calls. And the pot is now $700. The turn is a heart, and Mo has now picked up nut flush draw. Mike's got trips. King of hearts on the turn. And you can see the pot. And Mo takes the free card. And the river is a 10. Oh, my. Mike has made quads. And I don't know if Mo can get away from this hand. I got to tell you, I really don't know. Look at Mike. Kind of foo-foo. What do I do? And how do you play quads here? And he is going to bet $2,000. He overbets the pot huge, and I like the overbet. And Mo calls him, throws away the ace there, and Mike takes down another huge pot. Now, yeah, I mean, it's so tough. Obviously, we're privy to the cards, and it's so easy for us to say, would you lay it down? But I got to tell you, Mike is betting $2,000 into about actually an $800 pot. I mean, he might do that with an ace, I suppose. he might do that with a 10. I mean, could he be bluffing there? I don't know if he's betting that much on a bluff. I got to tell you. Got one more hand here after this one. Actually, one more chip count, sorry. $53,000 pot at the table, sorry. Mike's got $20,000? Are you kidding me? Wow. What is he up for tonight? Actually, and Mike's got probably, I'm sorry, Mike's got $23,000 now because he just won more money. Mike is actually up closer to $12,500. Huge win for Mike there. Barry up $1,400. Mo actually is probably down $1,000 tonight now. Hob up $1,000. George is up $1,000. Bart is actually even for tonight now.
Just trying to get me on tilt, huh? Talking about this?
And Mo's got queens. Kirk's got ace-king. Now I want to see how Kirk plays this. We got a big hand. Your queens versus ace-king. Is he going to play?
Raise it 140.
Yeah, and Mo is going to make it 140 to go with queens. Funny there, Mo was caging up to actually take the card on the turn. See if he can catch his flush. But then he pays him off for $2,000 in the river. Kirk's going to call, Hobbs going to call. And I got to tell you, if you're Bart, you might call this year. You're probably deep enough to make this call, and he does. 140 times 4, $560 for a raise to the flop. 9-7-5. Not a bad flop for sixes, but it's a better flop for Bart. Bart's got top pair. But Mo's got the overpair. Not really the flop you're looking for with Jack-9 of spades. And Bart's going to put a little feeler bet out there. See where he's at. And he bets 330, I think, right? And Mo's going to immediately raise this. And Bart gets the information he's looking to get, and I think it's an easy laydown now. Now, Mo is capable of making a move. But I think in this case, you know, the only thing is Mo might be tilting. Do you think maybe Mo is tilting? Do you think, is there any possibility Mo is tilting? Got to tell you, Jack-9 of spades, that's not the flop you're looking for. Bart knows that. If he was in the booth, he'd be telling himself this. And he's going to lay it down. Nice lay down, Bart. I got to tell you, I mean, I don't mind taking the flop with Jack-9 of spades. I don't even mind the bet there. Kind of see where you're at. And when Mo makes it 1,200 to go, you got the information that you were looking for. And the turn in the river were actually a deuce and a 4. Both spades. Wouldn't have changed anything. And unfortunately for Bart, he suddenly goes from being up $700 to even. Now he's probably down about $400 or $500. And I got to tell you, down $400 or $500 in this game is really nothing.
110.
And Mike's going to raise it up. He's got the old over and out hand, 10-4. We're going to get a call with pocket jacks. Kenny Wynn's going to call this. And I got to tell you, against Mike, against a lot of players I don't raise with pocket jacks, but against Mike, I might raise it here. I might isolate him. I might not, though. It's one of those times where I'll probably do it 50-50. Now, Hob is going to re-raise it 500 more. And now Kenny's in a spot where he really has no information. And he's in a tough spot here. He's kind of played his jack slow. Hob figured, you know what? If Kenny had a real hand, he would have re-raised Mike. Since he didn't re-raise, he probably has, you know, nothing really big. Maybe I can steal his pot. That's the logic Hob is probably thinking there. And if Kenny thinks that through, he might put Hob on a steal. And Kenny is going to smooth call, and that's got to really put Hob on alert there. Kenny is not smooth calling with any kind of garbage hand here. The flop comes out 6 high. And Hob is probably putting him on maybe jacks or 10s. And Hob is going to continue here. He's going to try to represent kings or queens, and look at that. And I think Kenny has moved all in, and you wonder, is Hob just pot committed here? I think Hob bet $1,000. And how much more is it for Kenny?
710 more.
5 minutes.
Well, there you go. Hob bet 800, and Kenny has re-raised it 800 more. And now look at the pot. The pot is what? Let's see. 1,000. Actually, the pot is $1,200 pre-flop. 800 and 800. The pot is 2,800. Pot is $3,600, $800 to call. Man, you're getting 4.5 to 1 on your money. I think you got to call almost. Hob is actually about a little over 4 to 1 dog. But at this point, you got to go, well, if the guy's got 10s, I have 2 overcards. If he has queens or kings or jacks, okay, I got 1 overcard. I'm getting 4.5 to 1 on my money. I think I got to call this.
750 more.
It's actually 750 more to win 35.50. I don't think you can lay this down. I really don't. I think Hob's going to call this. I think he has to call this. I really do. I think there's just too much money here.
Yeah, this row, the first.
Ronnie, I don't want your money. I would take anybody else's money. I don't want your money, Hob. And Hob calls. See, there you go. You would have owed me $1.
I got you on ace king.
Ronnie was trying to play a prop bet with me. Hob's a good player. He knows he has to call that. Unfortunately, he's getting 4.5 to 1 on his money. He knows he's behind. But he's just put himself in a spot where he had no choice but to call. Hob tried to represent kings or queens. And are they going to run it more than once? No, they didn't. They just ran it the one time. Turn was a 3. That actually gave Hob some outs there. Actually, I'm sorry. Turn was a 7. I thought the turn was a 3 for a second. And Kenny wins that there. I think Kenny put Hob on a steal. And he doubles up there. Big pot. $4,300 pot. This is going to do it. One more hand. That's it. Button is in seat number 5. That's Hob. And Bart's last hand, 9 of diamonds. No, he's not going to play. 9 of diamonds, I think 5 of spades. Oh, actually, it was not ace-8. Was it really? I could have sworn I saw the 9 of diamonds. Well, ace-8 offsuit, obviously. Up front, you're not going to play that. Mike limps in.
Barry tried to recruit Carlos. I had to take care of Carlos and get him out of here.
We're going to see this 3 ways. 7-6-4. Mike's got 2 pair. Mike has flopped 2 pair. I don't know what George has, though.
40.
And Mike's going to bet 40, and he's going to take it down. Gets no action with his 2 pair. Mike, you can't get any action, man. You're killing the table.
Top 2.
Well, that's going to do it. I think that's it, huh? That's it. Cool. Well, thank you for joining us. Very exciting night at Live the Bike, man. That was a lot of fun.
Perfect bet for you to block.
Have a good weekend. I'm going to go out there and see if I can make myself some money. And for Bart Hansen in the game, for everybody in the booth, for David Tuckman, thanks for joining us. Have a good weekend. We'll see you on Monday, okay?
3,000 behind 5.
It's here. It's big. And it's closer than you think. It's not a tournament. It's what you don't see on TV. The cash is real. The stakes are high. They bet big. They win big. They lose big. High stakes live action poker. Live at the bike. Watch it live on the web or play it if you dare at the Bicycle Casino right here in Los Angeles.